You know what?
Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the Alsco Uniforms 300. Alsco Uniforms 300. The third race of the race 3 of 33 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2023. At Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll forget that part. Chandler Smith won the pole today. Also notable, of course, Josh Berry, driver of the number 8. Will be driving the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet tomorrow in the Cup race as Chase Elliott recovers from his broken tibia. Alright, I didn't think I was going to do this race until I realized that the time that the race started was 4:30 and not 5:30 p.m. So, here I am, because I'm going to an arcade/bar with some friends later. Okay. It'll be 200 laps, which equates to 300 miles. I would have the raw feed, except for the fact that the raw feed, for some reason, whatever fuckwit reason, is not available yet. I don't know why. It should be, but as such, I cannot put up the leaderboard, which is annoying. Okay. Whew. Two spots are already locked up in the postseason between Austin Hill and John Hunter Nemechek. Let's see who can pull it off this time. Kyle Busch is running his first Xfinity race since 2021. He's my pick to win. He's starting 11th. Alright, so now we're just waiting. 38 cars made the field, 40 tried to, so 2 DNQs. The 66 of Mason Maggio for MBM Motorsports, and the number 74 of Ryan Vargas for CHK Racing, Clayton Harmon Killer. Daytona. Today's matchup on my bracket is Mark Martin versus Tim Richmond. Two greats that never won the championship. I'm just ashamed what happened to a Tim Richmond. Just waiting. I'm trying to figure out make this fucking shit work. I don't understand why the raw feed isn't working. Let me check my phone. It is the right.
To the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It's the third race in 2023. When we come back here in October, we'll be racing in the playoffs.
Working on
and all the stars are out in the booth today. Ryan Blaney is here for a third consecutive week after enduring the rain last week in California and the snow. And the 2014 Cup champion Kevin Harvick is in the house as well, making his first appearance of 2023. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Adam Alexander. So here we go in Las Vegas. You and I together last week in California. Now, I know that track is bigger and wider. I would anticipate, though, the racing going to be just as good here today.
It will be, and this place, every place has its own unique characteristics, right? But
Vegas
here I always look at the wind, and we saw it a little bit on the pre-race during the anthem. You saw the big flag in the back, how bad it's gusting, right? And it's straight down the backstretch. So that's going to be a big factor today. The spotters on the roof are probably going to have to tell the drivers constantly throughout the race, okay, did it move directions? Is it gusting harder? Just because that's something you have to factor in.
Well, I think when you look at that flag, I think you saw the effect that it had in Cup qualifying. It literally changed in the middle of the last round, and as that changed, cars that were trying to run wide open through 3 and 4 all of a sudden lost the nose. So turns 3 and 4, to me, you have a couple choices. I think the middle will be there as we go through the beginning of the race until it rubbers up.
So this
and then it'll
is
probably
just
be
not
no man's
working
land
right.
after the restart when the rubber gets back down. So you're going to have to either be all the way on the white line or all the way against the fence.
You guys are talking about the wind. A storm is brewing today. Kyle Busch back in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. For the first time in a couple of years, we know how good he is. What does he bring to the table today?
Well, I think that the biggest thing that Kyle brings to the table is experience, and he's not going to be shy about telling you that your car isn't good or if it is good. So Kyle Busch will give you great feedback.
He's the all-time wins leader. Can he get it done today? We'll find out shortly. Now let's get the command.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Richard Childress Racing, Jennifer White.
Why her?
On behalf of Alsco and Richard Childress Racing, drivers, start your engines!
Still trying to get this to work. But while I'm trying to get it to work,
cards on the table.
it's time to go over the starting lineup. The 38 cars that are attempting today's 300-miler. Starting 38th, driving the number 53 Syap Chevrolet for Emmerling Gase Motorsports. Patrick Emmerling swapping out CJ McLaughlin. Starting 37th, driving the number 35 Nevada Donor Network Toyota for Emmerling Gase Motorsports. Joey Gase. Yeah, they have 2 manufacturers. Starting 36th, driving the number 43 Shinewater Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. Ryan Ellis. And yeah, they run 2 different manufacturers. And we're just picking up whatever cars they can get. Starting 35th, driving the number 44 Jesus Revolution, the movie Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. Jeffrey Earnhardt. Starting 34th, excuse me, driving the number 08 Panini NFT Ford for SS Greenlight Racing. Greg Galding. Boo. Starting 33rd, driving the number 6 Mac Door System Chevrolet for JD Motorsports. Brennan Poole. Starting 32nd, driving the number 28 G Coin LaRue Ford for RSS Racing. Alex LeBay. Starting 31st, driving the number 91 Jag Middles LLC Chevrolet for DGM Racing. Josh Balicki. Starting 30th, driving the number 07 Autoparket.com Chevrolet for SS Greenlight Racing. Blaine Perkins. Another team that is running 2 manufacturers. Some of the time. Starting 28th, driving the number 99 P-Car X Chevrolet for BJ McLeod Motorsports. Garrett Smithley, and the first time his car has gotten into the field. Starting 27th, driving the number 92 Call 811 Alloy Employer out. The number 92 Call 811 Alloy Employer Chevrolet for DGM Racing. Josh Williams. Starting 26th, driving the number 02 Our Motorsports Chevrolet for Our Motorsports. Kyle Weatherman. Starting 25th, driving the number 51 First Pacific Funding Chevrolet for Jeremy Clements Racing. Jeremy Clements. Starting 24th, driving the number 27 Alsco Uniform Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. Jeb Burton, and that's the title sponsor of the race. Starting 23rd, driving the number 78 Dude Wipe Chevrolet for BJ McLeod Motorsports. Anthony Alfredo. Starting 22nd, driving the number 38 TopPool.com Ford for RSS Racing. Kyle Sieg. Starting 21st, driving the number 26 Fire Department Coffee Toyota for Sam Hunt Racing. Kaz Gralla. Starting 20th, driving the number 31 Funkaway Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. Parker Retzloff. Starting 19th, driving the number 9, Menards Gelled Win Windows Chevrolet. For Junior Motorsports, Brandon Jones. Starting 18th, driving the number 39, CMRRoofing.com Ford for RSS Racing, Ryan Sieg. Starting 17th, driving the number 19, Cover Seal Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, Joe Graff Jr. Starting 16th, driving the number 45, Wendell Scott Foundation, Microsoft Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing, Raja Karuth. Starting 15th, driving the number 24, Gear Wrench Toyota for Sam Hunt Racing, Tyler Reddick. Starting 14th, driving the number 18, Pilot Flying J Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, Sammy Smith. Starting 13th, driving the number 1, Accelerate Pros Talent Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, Sam Mayer. Starting 12th, driving the number 2, Wheelan Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, Sheldon Creed. Starting 11th, driving the number 10, LA Golf Chevrolet for Colleague Racing, Kyle Busch. Now for the top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 98, Monster Energy Ford for Stuart Haas Racing, Riley Herbst. Starting 9th, driving the number 21, Global Industrial Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, Austin Hill. Starting 8th, driving the number 11, South Point Hotel and Casino Chevrolet for Colleague Racing, Daniel Hemrick. Starting 7th, driving the number 20, Mobile One Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, John Hunter Nemechek. Starting 6th, driving the number 48, Big Machine Racing Spike Chevrolet for Big Machine Racing, Parker Kligerman. Starting 5th, driving the number 8, Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boats Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, Josh Berry. Starting 4th, driving the number 25, AM Technical Solutions Ford for AM Racing, Brett Moffitt. Starting 3rd, driving the number 00, Haas Automation Ford for Stuart Haas Racing, Cole Custer. Starting 2nd, driving the number 7, Brandt Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports, Justin Allgaier. And on pole, driving the number 16, Quick Tire Products Inc. Chevrolet with a pole time of 29.489 seconds and a speed of 183.119 miles per hour, Chandler Smith for his first career pole in the Xfinity Series. And I still cannot get this damn fucking website to show me the fucking leaderboard, you stupid thing. Okay.
Last night made his return to the Craftsman Truck Series, and he was awesome. They've changed manufacturers at KBM, same old results. 63rd career win for Rowdy, the 4th time he's been able to get it done here. KBM now as an organization, 99 wins all time. We'll watch him in the 10 car today. Let's get last reports from pit road. Before we go green, we start things with Josh Sims. Hey, Josh.
Well, Adam, as you saw, Kyle Busch got that win here in the Truck Series at his home track.
What I can try to do is how I did it in the olden days, which was just to use the
his number 10
keep track of the top 10 manually.
He said he fired up just way too free, then a tire went down. He said they're going to be working on this car all race long to get it exactly where they need it to be. He's also going to have to start from the back of the field, but if anybody can make their way to the front, it is Kyle Busch, who's riding a 5-race
the top 10 should change because Cole Custer has to go to the rear.
Well, Josh, it's been a fast start to the season for John Hunter Nemechek. Second in Daytona, and of course our winner last week in California. Fast forward to Las Vegas, qualified 7th yesterday, but sprinkle in just a little bit of Las Vegas luck. That's what you want when you come here, right? He will actually move up and start 3rd today. 2 of the cars in front of him going to the rear because they are in backup cars. John Hunter said the car is fast. They missed it just a little bit in qualifying, but he feels very good about where they're at with this race car, and this season in particular, look for him to improve on a career best second place finish in Las Vegas from 2019.
Yeah, let's look at those drivers, Regan, that are dropping to the rear. They basically treated last week's race in Fontana, and the race here today is a doubleheader. And so if you had to go to a backup car, you have to go to the rear today. And there are a number of really good drivers going back there. Among them, Cole Custer. You got Sheldon Creed, who's had a ton of speed, goes to a backup car.
Custer's going to the back.
Josh Berry, Brandon Jones.
All right.
And obviously,
the 8's going to the
there
back.
There are a host of others that had to make some form of adjustment prior to today's
so that
race.
moves up. Cobble's going to the back. So is Sheldon Creed.
So
that moves the 1 up to 9. And then the 18th up to 10.
Of today's 300-mile event. With that, we take a look at our race analysis. And it is 200 laps, 300 miles. Stage breakdown 45 and 45. Then a run to the checkers of over 100
Thank you to whoever subscribed to start.
You look at that fuel window, and that's significant because typically you get into that final stage and you can see some green flag pit stops here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that will have to do with when you pit, too. You'll have the short pitting, the guys who try to catch that yellow, and regardless, the tires are going to degrade at this particular racetrack, and the lap times are going to fall off, and your car is going to have to handle. So, I think as we get going at the beginning of the race, those guys coming from the rear are going to have to be really hard on their car and their tires to try to work their way forward.
Yeah, and those guys coming from the rear also, I think they're going to be the first guys up the racetrack. They're going to be first guys trying to work in the third lane, the fourth lane at the wall, just because they need to make some ground. So that'll work in all the lanes, I think, pretty quickly, because there's definitely some fast guys back there that are looking to make some hay early.
Austin Hill won the season opener at Daytona, rolls off 5th here this afternoon.
Got me on 2, Darren. So far, you might lose me.
Wait, did I do the math wrong?
I got you right now. Got a ratchet strap to hold you on the roof up there. That's what I'm talking about. It's
oh, well, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have to get. I'll need to give some time to actually fix this top 6. I'll give it a lap or so.
Today, no doubt, as we get set here in Las Vegas. The all-new Toyota GR Supra leads the field. Chandler Smith wins the pole, takes the outside to start. Do we anticipate that throughout the day with the control car in the front row?
I think so. I think, coming to the outside lane and going into turn 1 just allows you to go over those bumps smoothly, that you're not having to worry about somebody on the right rear of your car, getting your car loose. There's just a lot of benefits to being on the outside and carrying that momentum down the back straightaway.
Sit back and enjoy
pace car,
miles. It's the
pace
NASCAR
car rolls
Xfinity
down
Series.
pit lane. Time for a duel out in the desert. Time to roll the dice. We are green at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Alsco Uniforms 300. I got some cars trying to make it wide, far wide almost. Oh my lord.
Wide for a moment, and one of these guys are
Chandler Smith is out in front with the lead. Justin Allgaier down in the bottom in 2nd spot. Behind it's Brett Moffitt in 3rd. Brett Moffitt at the outside looks to get the momentum to pass. Justin Allgaier on the outside. 4th is Parker Kligerman. It's 3 wide as they enter 3. Nemechek gets sucked out from the middle, but he's still fighting. Austin Hill breaks ahead to go to 4th in front of Kligerman and Nemechek. But Nemechek not giving up on the inside. Right now it's still Allgaier and Moffitt battling up for 2nd spot. Chandler Smith has managed to scoot ahead.
Out to the early lead.
Really impressed with Brett Moffitt and his particular team, and I think Brett's kind of he kind of gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, but it seems like he always pops up, and he always, no matter what he's driving,
here
can
comes
find a
Hemrick,
way to be competitive.
the 6th.
So it's great to see him up front.
Yeah, I mean, we always kind of think of him as an underdog as we watch Kyle Busch driving through the field, the exact opposite of an underdog. But what makes Brett Moffitt impressive, this is a brand new race team.
Oh, Kligerman spins. Lap 3.
Parker Kligerman sliding. That'll bring out our first caution of the day. And that might be a trend that picks up off the spring race here a year ago. We had 11 cautions in the spring, only 3 in the fall, and 2 of those were for stage in. So hopefully we can find our rhythm here early.
We always talk about the Xfinity guys having...
I can't figure out why is it working on my phone.
You have an early spin like this,
but not on the computer. Let me try using Safari and see if that fixes it.
He might have.
Chrome's just been fucking up everything recently.
Nemechek in the 20, and a little bit of a kiss.
Nemechek got into him.
I just wonder how much John Hunter was a little bit frustrated by the beginning laps over there when he felt like Parker might have squeezed him in the middle over here in 3 and 4. So.
Kligerman running full-time in the 48 for Big Machine and didn't have the finish he wanted at Daytona. Comes back last week, finishes inside the top 10. Great qualifying run today, was running 5th when he got turned around off the corner. As we go on board with Sammy Smith, he had a front row seat.
Yeah, Sam May did a great job. Missing him.
don't anticipate any pit stops with a caution this early, so we'll step aside. 4 laps in, Chandler Smith leading all.
We go to commercial. Wonderful. Time to fix this. All right. 16, 7, 25, 21, 11, 98, 21, 24, 18. Well, it works on Safari. Alright, so hold on. I'm almost there. That is Discord. This is what we're looking for. There we go. Perfect. Are we still live? Wow. Second time in two weekends I neglect to plug in my computer. I really should. It died at 28%? Are you for real? It doesn't. After this weekend, I'm just going to go and bring it in. It's not fucking worth it. Kyle Busch already up 11 positions. Josh Berry up 10. Custer up 9. Jones and Brendan Poole up 7.
But when you can get that, when you start in the back and you can get a caution and you can close that distance back up and have another restart to get another chunk of them right on the restart while you're close to the leader, you can stay closer to the leader. So huge gift for those guys in closing that gap up early.
And not a gift for Chandler Smith, who had gained the lead, was just out there on a Saturday drive, and boom, I have to do another restart next to Justin Allgaier. Once again, Smith takes the outside lane. We're just underway. An early caution and already a
Joe Graff
restart
Jr.
here
up to 12
in Las Vegas.
I'm sure it'll be calm.
They always are here, right? Said with plenty of sarcasm.
Here we go again. Wow, already 4. Oh!
Kind of getting in the middle.
Anyway, Allgaier on the bottom trying to poke ahead of the lead. Chandler Smith still going on the outside. Behind it, it's Austin Hill in third.
Allgaier just about had the 16 clear off of 2, and he was able to drag him back to 16 was. And now Allgaier was kind of in a tough spot.
Allgaier looks a little, maybe loose.
Going into 3.
On there, Chandler Smith clears him coming out of 4 to take the lead.
Great job of sending
the 7 dive bomb him, though.
How big is this, Kevin? Young driver learning through experience early and doing it with success in Chandler Smith.
Well, you have to take those reps and coming to the green flag and doing the restarts and being able to know how
Custer
much throttle to
has
put
cracked
down
the top 20
on the racetrack. In order
Kyle
to
Busch isn't far behind.
But I can tell you there's a lot of young guys that have had success, but Chandler Smith is actually in that position to get those reps, and so that's hard to do in itself. So
Josh Berry's up to 12
against an old pro behind him. And
I believe he had to go to the back.
You know who the old pro is here? Josh Berry. I mean,
oh, 4 wide.
Brett Moffitt's getting used up. I'm sorry. Brett Moffitt's getting used up the last lap or so. He had 98 all over his left rear quarter panel the lap before, lost a couple spots. Just then, he about hit the wall again with the 98 all over his rear bumper. So he's had his hands full. But yes, Josh Berry's doing a good job coming from the back.
Hey, and so is Sammy Smith. You know, he qualified 14th. They weren't happy with that, but here he is in the top 10. And there is the aforementioned Josh Berry, already knocking on the door of the top 10, racing Tyler Reddick in the 24.
And we've seen the junior motorsports cars be fast here. You know, I mean, I feel like the last few
last
years, last
race was won by Josh Berry,
and always being in it and winning a handful of those races as well. So I would look to see, you know, those guys will be really strong, especially Berry and Mayer coming from the back and already making the gains that they've made. That shows that those cars are really fast.
Talk about junior motorsports. Joe Gibbs Racing been good here as well. Won this race a season ago with Ty Gibbs.
See Parker Kligerman shoot by on the outside there.
He's up to he's in the top 30 once again.
Trying to rally back from that early spin.
What is Brandon Jones doing? Honestly,
the bad thing was when he spun, it was lap 3. So those guys didn't really have any laps. So it's not like he's at a big tire.
He had to start at the back, but he's barely made any progress.
But, you know, it's not like if these guys had 20 laps, then he could maybe make up for what happened. So it's going to be a lot harder here.
How about that pole sitter, Regan?
And it's been a great start for Chandler Smith, and this was a big key to him. He told me that race car was really loose in practice yesterday until they got a few laps into the run. Felt like if they could get the clean air, keep him out front, the further they went into the run, the better that car was going to be for him today. Right now, smooth sailing, just a little bit on the splitter, too much for Chandler.
And let's not forget, 1 year ago here, Chandler beat the boss man, Kyle Busch, to win in the Craftsman Truck Series. So he has experience, not just here at Las Vegas, but he's won. And
that 7's coming close. That 16 looks sideways for that turn. Unless it's just skew.
Right now,
but that 7 is coming fast.
I don't like how Chandler Smith's car is not on that white line.
There he goes.
See Justin Allgaier taking advantage of that. He was right on that white line, and I feel like there's always grip down there.
He makes the pass. New leader, the 7.
And Justin, you could tell that he does everything he can do to put his left.
Don't look now, but the 10 car is up to the 13th spot.
Harvicking at Atlanta forever.
It's very similar, especially 3 and 4. You know, being on the bottom of the racetrack and hooking that white line in 3 and 4 here is very similar.
Berry racing by Mayer, put the 8 in the 8th position as we look at the pass for the lead.
Again.
This was a big side draft.
Now Kyle Busch is in 10th.
Yeah.
His lap times are very similar to the leader.
Yeah, you know, I'm curious to see if
fastest car, Hemrick, the last lap.
He hasn't pulled away from him. So, you know, try to learn a little bit. Chandler's moved up the racetrack. That middle lane, or that lane up that he's running, that's a pretty good lane. I've always enjoyed running there. Splitting the seam of the first and second lanes kind of de-wedges the car, helps you turn a little bit. So, especially in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, I feel like it's still you got to be on the bottom. But you know, it's a good time for Chandler to kind of learn about, you know, what's Justin doing to maybe where this car does better. You know, what does mine do better or worse, and get a thought for here. You know, when we have pit stops in 30 laps or so.
Talked about Josh Berry making his move through the field, not far behind him. Kyle Busch from the back. He is 12th right now, driving the 10 car for College. And that car has had a lot of speed the last couple of weeks. It's the all-star car over there. Justin Haley, top 10 at Daytona. It was wounded last week when Austin Dillon brought it back for a top 10 finish in Fontana, California. Kyle going to be driving it again next weekend in Phoenix.
He is?
AJ Allmendinger gets behind the wheel at COTA. A good host of drivers that have Cup experience, winning at the top level, going to be driving the 10. It's fast again today.
Here he comes on Tyler Reddick for 11th.
Debris on the grill, and we got a report that maybe that's the situation here for the guy in second, Chandler Smith. Listen in.
And Brett Moffitt's right in front of Kyle Busch, so he's probably going to make that pass for get into the top 10 very soon.
10-4, let's climb it. Let's back up to the 20, get in line behind him.
How hard is it to do that? I've always thought that was a tough thing to do.
Well, it depends on how fast the temperature is going up. And you know, if the engine won't run and you let it go too far and it starts spraying water out of the thing, then you're in big trouble. So sometimes you have to minimize the damage, and you have to be smart about taking care of the car and doing what you have to do. So it just depends on how fast those temps are going up as to how desperate he is.
Kyle Busch up to 11th now, Josh, as we get a pass for second.
He's fighting Moffitt for 10th.
Kyle Busch just came over the radio and said car's starting to free up on him. He's made a ton of moves. We know he started from the back of the field, already making a move up the board. And the big
here he comes, passing Brett Moffitt like it's nothing, and Kyle Busch has entered the top 10.
So not just going for wins, but helping the team get better and better. That is the big thing about having Kyle Busch in that car this week and next.
And he will give an honest evaluation, right? I mean, he is not going to short anybody on his knowledge. And, you know, we look up in front of him, second place right now, John Hunter Nemechek. Nice move he made to get around Chandler Smith.
And, and you haven't seen the debris go away on the 16 car yet, so he wasn't able to get in behind him and get that debris to come off. So you've seen the 16 kind of not running the bottom, especially in 3-4. He tried. I mean, that's...
Cole Custer's mired back in 21st, right, which is disappointing.
But, yeah, he's still got the issue. I mean, the temperature's still rising. He's still got trash. He needs to try it again.
Well,
wait, Blaine Perkins is considered a rookie this year?
Laps to go in this stage.
Now I know.
We might get another caution between now and then, but if you don't, that's a long way to go if that thing's heating up. For 11th, Moffitt and Tyler Reddick.
Reddick's someone I think is going to be at the wall before anybody else. It's just kind of the way he is, and always searching around. You saw Kyle Busch start running the third lane or so in 3 and 4. You see Reddick up there, and I expect this track to widen out here to where they get up in that top lane before too long.
Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Parker Kligerman, Brandon Jones at 16th through 19th.
Use his feedback, and we saw
Chandler Smith continues to fall backwards. He's now behind Austin Hill
and Tyler Reddick, and trying to get his feedback on where the car was. So Cup drivers, they race a lot and they've had a lot of experience, and they can give that valuable feedback as to what you need to work on.
Nemechek has caught up to Allgaier.
By Chandler Smith for third, and now the top spot on the line. John Hunter Nemechek, quiet early, working his way through the field, and he will take over the top spot inside of Justin Allgaier. The man that won last week is now on point in Las Vegas. The 20-car serving notice early this year. We came to play.
They won it at Fontana the previous week,
for those Joe Gibbs racing
and they've
cars.
passed the lead.
When you come to Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series, for a long time, it's those guys have made a lot of speed, especially on the long runs.
Yeah,
as they get going.
That's something that's always stood out to me between their cars. Here, Fontana, their long run speed is just unbelievable, and it's definitely shown today. He just slowly picked away at the 7 car and looking to drive away.
Halfway home in stage 1, John Hunter Nemechek, the new leader. Third different driver to be out front today. It's good to have you with us. Fox NASCAR from Las Vegas.
All right, now we go to commercial again. I forget how long the stages are. Or in the commercial. I'll have to go get some food at the stage break because I'm going out, and this is also this race goes through my the dining hall hours of operation. That's something to keep me preoccupied during commercials, as per usual. All right, now we're still waiting on the commercial break. Still green. Nemechek's out front by about a quarter of a second. Kyle Busch has not been able to catch up to the cars ahead of him. That will probably change after another caution, because he'll just take off like a fucking something. But he's faster than the 2 cars in front of him, I will say. Garrett Smithley and Patrick Emmerling have gone a lap down, being, slow as monkey fuck.
Laps remaining.
That 78 car is in its mid-20s, which is
in Las Vegas,
good.
The race leader, John Hunter Nemechek, led the most laps in one last Sunday evening in Fontana, California.
So the 7 has kept up with the 20, which is very good.
Today. You look at his history, raced full-time in the Xfinity cars 2019, 7th in points, did get a win. 2020 moves to Cup, didn't go his way.
Well, he's driving for front row. What do you expect?
Joins Kyle Busch Motorsports, and he did that. 2021, 2022. Now he's back in an Xfinity car, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. The results have been great so far in 2023. Nearly won Daytona. He got the victory last week, and leading here today. You know, it takes me to his dad, Joe. Won here in Las Vegas 20 years ago in an Xfinity car, 2003. Any idea who finished second in that race?
I do not. I mean, I'm going to give, I guess I could guess, maybe.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
That would be the guess.
Here's the thing I love about John Hunter Nemechek. He's 25 years old, and he's had all that experience and everything that he's raced in and been a part of. He's got a racing pedigree with his family and his dad being so successful, especially in this particular series. But the thing that I love
about see Busch catching up now to Mayer. Here comes Chandler Smith past Daniel Hemrick
bring them up and they give them time
for
and they
fourth.
Them all the way through the trucks and Xfinity
About
series.
5 seconds behind the leader.
That changed with Kyle, going from Toyota to Chevrolet, and all the different opportunities that the two manufacturers created in order to have this competition that's brewing this year amongst the two of them, with all the changes in the drivers.
Well, we talk about the success for Joe Gibbs Racing. One of the drivers that won a title for them, Daniel Hemrick, is up inside the top 5 and looking good so far in today's race. So we go since the restart, right? We had that early caution, and the guy that no doubt has dominated in the category of biggest mover since we returned to the green flag is the guy that brought out the caution, and that would be Parker Kligerman. Restarts in the back. He's worked his way to the top 15. So, I mean, he's obviously got a pretty good race car.
22.
Yeah,
22.
Okay.
He's been moving up the racetrack, and trying to find some fresh grip. I've been watching up here, and it's been a good amount of guys trying to move up and up, and he's definitely been one of them. Trying to get some cleaner racetracks. So we'll watch his progress for sure.
One driver that hasn't moved up as much throughout the field
Cole
as
Custer.
we thought, this guy, Cole Custer, he's
17th
right now. What's up there, Josh?
Yeah, going into the race, Cole Custer told me Vegas is a place he doesn't really like to come to. Well, right now he came over the radio and said, I'm ungodly free, and I'm starting to lose the right front. So some trouble for Cole Custer as he tries to make moves like the rest of the guys that started in the back.
I love that forward onboard camera, the driver's eye.
Yeah, and that free here is terrible because it just gets on that right rear tire and you start sliding around, and there's really nothing that you can do but just slow down. And you try to run high, and it's just too free to run all the throttle up there, and you try to run low, and you just got to go slower in order to put the car on the right part of the racetrack. So really free is a tough spot to be in here.
And, him running, he's running essentially the fence. He gets really close to it in the center and kind of pulls off of it, and he's doing that to try to help, save his right rear tire. But it takes such commitment to run the top. There's so much more on throttle time up there. You have to fully commit to it to make it work.
Now for the lead is a little, separated a little more, by the way.
Holding on loose, that's just, he's got his hands full. So I bet he's really excited for 10 more laps to try
10 to go on the stage, so it's split 45, 45, 110. That would be my guess.
Because they were working to get that debris off. He's 4th right now. Things have stabilized, 10 to go in the stage, and I'm not sure if there could have been any overheating or any damage done to that engine, but if that's the case, and his day could be short-lived, you want to get to the end of the stage and get some stage points, because if you have to retire early, you want to have something to show for a pole run here at Las Vegas.
Well, he's definitely stabilized, and when we started hearing that he was talking about his car being loose in practice yesterday, I was like, oh man. Where is this going to go? But his times have stabilized pretty good, and he's kind of fell into a spot here and just clicking off laps.
Okay.
Who we haven't said a lot about
anyway,
today, but
I should also update y'all on the lap cars. Blaine Perkins went a lap down. Joey Gase went a lap down. That's the 07 and the 35. 91 of Josh Bilicki's a lap down. The 92 of Josh Williams is a lap down. The 43 of Ryan Ellis is a lap down. The 08 of Gray Galding is a lap down. And the 6 of Brennan Poole is a lap down. 29 cars remain on the lead lap.
To being later on shoulder tires, and it's working right now. Just a little too tight in turns 3 and 4 when he's behind guys right now.
Yeah, Jeremy Clements goes a lap down, the 51.
Hill, I mean, they've separated themselves from the field by a long ways. I mean, there's almost 6 seconds in front of fourth. And, the 20, he hasn't really pulled away. He's starting to kind of gain a little bit of a gap here. But these 3 cars, for sure early, are establishing themselves as the best 3 right now.
And really, not just today, but this season. I mean, we gave the numbers for Nemechek. Austin Hill wins Daytona, 6 last week, a pair of thirds for Justin Allgaier. I feel like every year we work ourselves into the big 3 in the Xfinity Series. I know that might be premature, but those 3 certainly doing it not just today, but on the balance of the season. As Sammy Smith tries
Bailey
to
Curry goes a lap
Barry
down.
here,
27 cars left on the lead lap. Next is Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Sammy Smith, Josh Berry, and Kyle Busch is creeping into this picture as well. So it might be a case where, Josh kind of moved up early and his stuff might be hurting a little bit, having to come from the back. He went up there and passed the 18, and then the 18 just passed him back. So his car might be fading a little bit, and Kyle Busch's car seems to be the best over the long run out of the guys who had to come from the back. He passed the 1, he's about to pass the 8.
There's Busch inside of Berry.
For 8th.
2 drivers that will run Saturday and Sunday this
Busch
weekend.
got past Mayer.
Berry filling in for Chase Elliott tomorrow. Kyle Busch doing the triple and trying to sweep.
Gets past Berry for 8th spot. 5 to go in the stage. We're 20% of the way through the race.
Xfinity and Cup, he won in the Craftsman Truck Series last night live on FS1. We were talking about Cole Custer and his struggles today. How about his teammate? The hometown hero,
running top
Riley
5.
Herbst is 5th, and as good a run as we've seen him have here at Las Vegas. This has not been one of his better tracks, but he's performing this afternoon.
Well, he puts a lot of pressure on himself to run well here, growing up here, and obviously, with Monster on the car and the family business and everything that they have in Las Vegas, it can be a difficult thing to manage because of the fact that you have so many things different throughout the weekend than you would on a normal race weekend with all the people around. So Riley's done a good job, qualified decent. I think last year he spun out in qualifying and had to work his way from the back, and this year just a steady start, and he's doing a great job.
And one of 4 drivers to record a top 10 in both races this year. We talked about the 3 guys up front, Riley Herbst on that list as well. Down to 3 laps to go, stage 1.
There we go, Austin Hill finally got to the inside of the 7. It's a tough pass to complete down on the very bottom, especially with laps on your tires in 1 and 2. 7 just kind of pinned him down there, and he had a lap car in front of him. He probably did all that work for the last 15 laps to get alongside Justin, and then just wasn't able to really, make any kind of charge to get by him.
As we hit a couple of laps to go in the stage, look at that scoring pylon. Everybody in the top 10 going to get stage points here, and that is significant as you go throughout the balance of the season and you try to make the playoffs and win a championship. A number of guys that started in the rear now have put themselves in a spot to get points. Shelton Creed in a backup
Kyle
car
Busch
up
passes
to 9th.
Sammy Smith for 7th spot.
So a really good job by those drivers to maximize the early stint of this race.
Well, I think it's at that point of the run where Sheldon can move up the racetrack, and he does a really good job when he can run that high line. He's found the groove that works for him at the top.
Final lap, stage 1.
There you go.
I know the 20 car, he's looked the best, got the lead, drove away. Really curious to see where the 10's going to be, where the 8, the 1, where they're going to be having to come from the back, use up a lot of their tires, right? I mean, using your tires up like crazy. So it'd be nice to get a reset here, get some new tires on, and get some adjustments, and see if they can put anything, kind of charge for this 20, because he's stage 1, dominant car.
All right, here we come to the green and checkered flag. Nemechek wins the stage. Allgaier 2nd, Austin Hill 3rd, Chandler Smith 4th, Riley Herbst 5th, Daniel Hemrick 6th, Kyle Busch in 7th. Sammy Smith 8th, Sheldon Creed 9th, and Josh Berry in 10th.
Chandler Smith.
I'll be right back because now I got to get some food. And we're back, and I see pit stops are going off. Trying to see who wins the race off pit road. I don't have anything super good for dinner, just some pizza. All right, winner off pit road. They don't show it for some fucking reason. Hill, okay, there were Hill, Nemechek, Allgaier, Busch, Hemrick, Chandler Smith, Herbst, Sammy Smith, Mayer, Jones, and we got a loose tire.
Tire in the infield grass is not going to be good for someone. Kyle Busch +3. So great effort by the Colleague team on pit road.
Who was it?
In a case of the rich getting richer, we know how good Kyle is, and gaining him positions on the pit lane could be a big advantage as we go racing in stage 2.
I think that was Alex LeVay's tire.
Okay.
28 car. And I'll be back because I also need to piss. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry for the delay.
And their families. That's our mission, always.
Ready? Wow. Can you send me that? Sure. Can you send me that? Hey, can you send me that? Sure. It's incredible.
The Big East Tournament, Wednesday at 3 Eastern on FS1.
A lot of cars were lapped last time around. Josh Williams a lap down. Jeffrey Earnhardt a lap down. So 26 cars listed on the lead lap. About 2/3 of the field. Quick, let me update the stats.
might be surprised that I actually pole vaulted in high school.
Damn.
To get out of PE, but it was a cool thing to do.
And he's fucking small.
There is so much to unpack there.
I don't even know where to start.
I don't know what's more impressive.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of Reddick.
Or the
Custer's
full
younger.
makeup Kiss cover band.
He's not small.
Josh Berry
Reddick's
didn't
small.
know about Taylor Swift. He does know about Taylor Swift because he knew that they were called Swifties. So
that's true.
There's
I wonder
more there.
I wonder if she wrote a song about him. I wonder if one of her songs is about
Like
Josh Berry in high school. Yeah.
We mentioned off the top, number of drivers and backup cars had to drop to the rear. One of those was Cole Custer, Josh Berry on that list as well. And you can see their progress today. Best of the bunch, Kyle Busch at plus 29. And some of that because they had a tremendous pit stop. Now, I saw the lights are on a pace car, so we're not going to go green this time around, although we have gone through the choose process. And Austin Hill said, give me the outside lane. So we'll go one more lap here.
Yeah, someone we didn't really touch on much as we got a car stalled in the bottom of 1 and 2 was Brandon Jones. You know, he was second on the biggest mover list, had to start in the back. He was up to 10th. You know, and that, you know, Junior
Someone
Motorsports
stalled.
stable
No,
car.
it was a Toyota, I think.
You know, and he's always run really well here, and I feel
Joey
like he might
Gase.
have something today. It's another guy who's able to reset and go back at it.
Yeah, you mentioned the 35, Joey Gase, going to get a push. That was the reason that we didn't get to restart that time around, so we'll do it next time, and that gives us an opportunity to pay off points in stage 1. John Hunter Nemechek with a playoff point for winning the stage and gets those 10 stage points, and you see how it falls out behind him. You know, Kyle Busch running obviously for cup points, so he's not going to get any points here in the Xfinity Series. Some other drivers, though, really taking advantage in the early portion of the race, despite the fact they had to start deep in the field. Here's some 10 radio.
The roof blow off, or did you take it down? Scared to death it was going to blow off, so we took it down. We look like, you know who we look like?
Wait.
We look like Dukes of Hazzard.
Yo, idiot. Wrong 10 number. That's the 10 for Stuart Haas, not Colin.
Oh man, there's never a dull moment with Chris Rice,
ever
team manager, but those guys they're always having fun, and I think that's just the colleague environment that Chris creates. But if Kyle's going to keep driving this LA golf car, we've seen pole vaulters, we've seen. I want to see Kyle Busch's golf swing. If you're going to drive the LA golf car, I want to see video of Kyle Busch's golf swing. What do you think, Adam?
Well, why do I immediately think of Bill Murray and Caddyshack when you say you want to see Kyle Busch's golf swing?
You can't drive the LA golf car and not show us your golf swing.
How about the three of us invite Kyle? That would be a nice foursome.
He might show up.
No, don't use the word foursome,
Something tells
please.
me we'd all need to bring a dozen balls for Kyle if we wouldn't play. Restart to begin the second stage. Leader outside, Austin
Anyway,
Hill.
stage 2 after that gross statement. I know it's not what he meant, but it doesn't change the fact it sounds bad. Anyway, Nemechek on the bottom.
The 20.
Gonna try and ease in front of the 21.
The 20's gonna clear him. Okay, I thought the 21 was gonna be able to hang
Makes
on
it.
this quarter
Here
panel.
comes Chandler Smith to the
But
inside.
20 was able to
Kyle
get
Busch
clear
is gonna
from
be
a
stuck in the
straight
middle.
push, by Kyle Busch.
What about Chandler Smith in the 16? I mean, just shot out of a cannon, made it 3 wide, and he's going to try to get up to the third
Nemechek
position.
leads. Austin Hill's in second. Behind him, it's Allgaier and Chandler Smith and Kyle Busch jostling for third. Here comes Kyle Busch on the outside to get past his colleague racing teammate. He's not clear, but he had the nose out in front on the
He was
tri-oval.
his boss, and now he's his teammate. The 10
And
and
here
16
he comes.
side by side for fourth. Allgaier jumps up to second in front of Austin Hill.
Sliding right past on the backstretch, and here comes Allgaier. He's nosing ahead on the backstretch as they go through 3 and 4. He's high. Nemechek's low. Hill's trying to find where to go.
Going on early in stage 2.
Nemechek got the run on the inside. The Austin Hill behind him. He leads at the line. But the top 5 are still running really close. He's dragging a couple other cars into the fray.
But 3 and 4, you saw his car just completely lost all grip.
It's 3 wide for second spot between Allgaier, Hill, and Chandler Smith. Hill falls back. Allgaier's got good speed at the top. Kyle Busch still running up top behind them. Hemrick and Sammy Smith trying to fight for up there as well. Hemrick falls behind.
Like you say, I'm not
Kyle Busch still trying to hold his position.
All the way on the bottom and on the, or all the way against the top in 3 and 4.
I mean, these young kids, though, no fear, right? I mean, we talk about Chandler Smith, who's 20. Sammy Smith, driving the 18, is 18. Hasn't even graduated.
Kyle Busch is able to sneak past Austin Hill for 4th. Chandler Smith in 3rd. Allgaier 2nd. Nemechek leading. Sammy Smith right now in 6th, ahead of 7th place Riley Herbst and 8th place Sam Mayer.
Doing it again here in 3 and 4.
Sammy Smith, we see his camera trying to get past that Global Industrial Chevrolet.
So his car seems to be working as it goes up the racetrack.
Oh,
99 is Garrett Smithley.
Smithley, did he
That's
blow
him
up?
On track. He since has brought it down the pit lane, driving for BJ McLeod. Told me that this morning, I didn't think I had a chance to make it into the field yesterday. He goes out, he's able to make the show qualifying, but unfortunately, early problems for him as he makes his first start of the year.
35 is
Side
also
by side
done.
For the 3rd position.
That's for 4th, you fucking moron.
You got Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Smith.
By 3 to the 21.
Something that's been a trend, you know, in short runs is the 16 car is really fast in short runs. You know, obviously sitting on the pole, was able to hold the lead there for a couple restarts early in the race. Looks really fast again on this restart. So I'll be curious to see if they got the long run a little better on that car, because it seems to have the great short run speed, but struggles a little bit getting going, or on the long run, sorry.
Well, what do you think about Josh Berry here, Kevin? Outside the top 10, I mean, they made up all that ground early, and now things maybe not where he would want them to be.
Well, I think Ryan hit on that earlier. I think the top of that racetrack was a little bit cleaner than it probably is now. And I think as you go into the race and it gets rubbered up, you have to start making your car work, and you don't have that crutch of being able to lean on the gray racetrack up there and make the car turn and do the things that you need to do. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're fighting, but I know when those cars are super fast, they can run the top and be able to get going on the bottom.
Chandler Smith getting past Justin Allgaier for 2nd.
Josh Sims on Josh Berry.
Yeah, and you'll hear a different voice on the radio in terms of a spotter for Josh Berry. His normal spotter, TJ Majors, is out with an illness today, so Josh Williams is spotting for Josh Berry today, and of course TJ Majors spots on the Cup.
No, that's not possible.
A spot for Brad Keselowski tomorrow.
Josh Williams is.
Keep an eye on the leader.
It'd be pretty impressive if Josh Williams was spotting and in the car right now in the 92. Then that's a pretty bad misnomer. Unless it's a different Josh Williams.
And I would call that pretty typical for Vegas. I don't know how many times I've said that on the radio because of the fact that you come to pit road and the rotors hadn't been used, and then you change the tires or whatever it is. I don't know, but it seems very typical for Vegas to have that vibration.
Oh, it's a different Josh Williams.
All right, we were talking a little bit about Josh Berry, and he's got his hands full here. Outside the top 10, scored in the 13th position.
Okay, well, the whole time, like the last 3 years, I thought Josh Williams, the driver, and Josh Williams, the spotter, were the same person. Alex LeBay right now is the last car in the lead lap. Parker Retzloff is 4 laps down. He must have a problem. Sam Mayer's up to fifth, excuse me. Fastest car on track, Justin Allgaier. Only 6 cars still in the 31-second range. Those being the top 5. And Cole Custer and Brett Moffitt just ran one as well. This is already disgusting.
Here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway with Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, I'm Adam Alexander. Your race leader is John Hunter Nemechek. Let's take a look at our Toyota top performers. And he leads the list. Stage 1, Sammy Smith from 14th to 7th. C. Reddick, Joe Graff Jr. making his second start for Joe Gibbs Racing just inside the top 20. And Kaz Gralla coming off a top 15 last week, driving that 26 car for Sam Hunt Racing. Is 20th right now. Let's go back and listen in on 20 team radio because he continues to fight.
Cowboys running up high. Right rear vibration.
That's the worst. And as a driver, you have kind of this mental process that you have to fight through, and you have to be the one that says, okay, is the vibration the same or is it getting worse? If it stays the same, it's fine. If you go in the corner and when the car loads up and it starts to get more harsh, every time you go in there, the wheel's coming loose. If you go in there and it's consistent, then you can keep going. It's still not comfortable, but right now he's fighting with himself mentally to try to decide, is it getting worse or is it staying the same?
Because the last thing you want to do as a driver is think you have a loose wheel, come in, and they say it was tight.
Yeah.
And that's on you as a driver, but his car's been moving all around the racetrack. He's missing the bottom of 3 and 4. Something tells me that whatever is going on, loose wheel or not, it's not entirely.
And it's not comfortable. There's nothing comfortable about thinking you have a loose wheel.
Look at the difference in lines here. I mean, the top 2 run the white line, Allgaier in the 7 run.
Bye, everyone. It's just
3 and 4,
you and me, and the other silent 3 people.
Back down to the apron at the start-finish line. So intriguing to me to watch these guys manipulate and take advantage of the options.
Here comes the 16 to the inside of the 20.
Inside of John Hunter Nemechek.
Does he have the run?
Quarter.
Door. Bumper. Clear. Oh, the 20 went way high.
Chandler Smith, I mean, he's done a fabulous job, and I really thought that he would lose track position and go backwards.
Kyle Busch has managed to catch up.
Qualified so fast, so he's doing a great job, and he's been on the gas on the restarts and in the long run.
Back to Josh Berry. We showed you going to break and a little tap. There's another iteration of him visiting with the wall.
Looked like they had contact.
And Barry battling for 10.
As he came up, he got the right rear quarter panel and it kind of snapped it to the right.
Riley Herbst, top 5.
Here comes Moffitt.
Now racing for that 10th position with Barry. And just behind them, Brett Moffitt, who's making a good comeback. Qualified in the top 5, drifted early. But now he's knocking.
Oh, it spins!
There goes Barry. Hang on to it.
Lock it down.
Man.
We saw him get loose when we went to break off of 2. We saw
minimal damage.
A little bit there. Didn't look like much damage, but it seemed like he had his hands full. And right there, he had a car tight to his outside. He kind of lost the line and was at point of, I'm going to hit this guy, and he ended up just spinning it out. So got away with it, no damage. Just they would have come in and try to get their car tightened up because he looked like he had his hands full. And a potential break for the 20 who might have had a loose wheel.
Well, and the other thing, Ryan, as we look across the racetrack, that is, the cars just tend to get loose right there. It's like they go to the transition of the banking and there's some bumps right there. And if you get off the bottom and up the racetrack, the car gets light anyway. And that just took it was side by side, took a little air off the back of the car and just lost it there. But the one thing I am noticing on the backstretch too, the wind is shifted directions right towards turn 4.
Yeah, that makes it worse, right? What his situation was, you got heavy wind hitting you in the left side door, pushing you up the racetrack. You have a car to your outside, so you can't use all the racetrack. So he was in a tough spot.
I love when you talk science. On board with Cole Custer.
I'm never going to be able to think of Cole Custer the same after I saw him pole vaulting.
Pit road is open, and Josh Berry going to go ahead and come down. Obviously had to with the spin. We'll see if anybody follows suit. I would anticipate not with this many laps to go in the stage. Sometimes you'll flip it, but probably a little bit too early to try that strategy.
Yeah, I think tires fall off too much. I mean, the 20's going to come down, so he must think he definitely had a problem, so they're going to come fix it.
The 8's been in, 20 coming in as well. Let's follow up with Regan Smith.
Well, and we mentioned and documented the fact that he felt like he had a loose tire. That's ultimately what brought them down pit road right here. Better to play it safe than to have an issue. What they are going to do, they just about 5 minutes ago glued up the scuff tires that they took off the car on the first run. They are going to put those tires on it to get through to the end of this stage. That way they're not at a deficit tire-wise as it gets down to the end of this race.
So you basically give up any opportunity to get stage points here in stage 2 by this strategy, but you save that set of tires so you're in balance with everybody else, and you still got a chance for a late rally. Caution out for the 3rd time today, courtesy of the 8 of Josh Berry.
Buying a home.
I'll be right back again. Alright, sorry about that. Just had to get rid of some garbage.
Most wins by active drivers. We're doing fine. We just need to add We need to add another one at some point.
It needs to be just you on the Phoenix promo since you won there 9 times. How many did you win in a row there?
We won a lot there.
5 or 6 in a row or something?
Yeah.
Do you really not know? I feel like we keep asking you questions today about your stat line.
Terrible.
Rodney knows. I'll guarantee you Rodney knows how many it was. Here we go.
Restart.
With just under 15 to go, stage 2.
Here we go. Kyle Busch looking for a spot. He's right behind Chandler Smith, his teammate.
Push from Kyle Busch on his teammate.
He goes high.
Smith in the one
Austin
kind of
Hill's
got
right behind.
Mayer's lost all his momentum.
Damn it.
Middle 3.
Here comes Austin Hill at the bottom of Kyle Busch for third. The top 2 are still side by side.
This battle for the lead is great.
Brandon Jones sneaks by to 5th. Allgaier sneaks by Nemechek to the lead.
Clear 7 on point with 11 to go on the stage.
Damn, so many people just got here. Like, my bad, like I was getting rid of throwing out my trash. Okay, Allgaier in the lead. Chandler Smith second. Austin Hill is in third.
Another lesson for Chandler, right? You know, because
Nemechek is all the way back in 24th now.
How hard you can push it on.
Josh Berry, I guess, had a penalty on his. No, he forgot he crashed. He's in 26th, and he's already way behind the pack.
Watch the 18 of Sammy Smith, bottom of your screen.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah, he got into the back of
what
the
a bobble.
He was just up to that quarter panel, and Sam tried to block it a little bit.
Cole Custer has now worked his way into the top 10. He's in 9th.
The 2 teenagers got connected on the restart, and neither benefiting. The other teenager in 2nd right now, Chandler Smith behind Allgaier. Hill, Busch, and Brandon Jones, your top 5.
Pass-through up there. Make sure you got your switch. I'll let you know when I see a penny.
Wow. Restart violation on the 7 of Justin
Oh, man.
That
really?
was the audio we were hearing.
Penalty for the leader.
We'll have to see a replay of that because I didn't think it was anything egregious. I mean, maybe I missed it, but.
Well, we got word that the restart was under review. What do you evaluate here?
That? I don't think he beat the leader back to the line.
He might have launched a split second before the 16, but
man, I didn't see much there.
7 car.
He was still behind him when he went into
well, that ruined the 7s race.
I'd love to get some more definition on what the ruling was.
Then again, we have 8 laps to go till the end of the stage, so he might be able to stay. He might be able to be the first car a lap down.
Above that line, he went down too soon.
This is his 18th race here. First time he's ever been penalized at Las Vegas.
Well, that's a great reminder for all of us because you
anyone
wind up
can mess
being
up
able to go
anytime.
wherever you want after the start-finish line, and it's so open that you
Brandon Jones sneaking up on Kyle Busch for 3rd.
That line on the bottom is a penalty. You can't do that before the start-finish line. Everything has to stay above that white line.
Good news for him, 7 to go on the stage. So he does the pass-through. He's exited the pit lane. He's going to stay
ahead
on
of he's on the lead lap, so
he'll keep himself in the game. And don't forget, last week finished 3rd at
Actually, no, Kyle Weatherman in the 0-2. I thought it was just underfunded for this season. He's up to 18th.
He comes back to finish inside the top 5. Chandler Smith, the new leader, in front of Austin Hill as we check in one more time with radio from Justin Allgaier.
Tell them if they want to penalize people, watch the games on restarts. That's all I can tell you. Listen, we're not even halfway yet. We'll get it all back. Just keep a good head. Yes, sir.
25 seconds behind.
Driver, right?
Let's mention Ryan Ellis and Bailey Curry are battling it out for the lucky dog. No, I should also know Joey Gase is back and running right now. He's in last place, but it looks like that he's gotten his car going. Because he had problems on lap 50, and he's listed on lap 66.
They're easy to officiate, and as a driver, that makes us easy to know. And to me, it's just you forget about stuff like that.
It's the 98 and the 18 and the 1. That's for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
That's a tough penalty. And I know Justin.
1's for the quarter battle. Here comes the 21.
For NASCAR.
Wait. I keep forgetting the 20 is way back as opposed to the 21. 21 is trying to make that pass on the inside as he goes now. We got 5 to go in the stage. Going to be 4 to go. Drops to the apron, and he will make the pass.
The top spot away from Chandler Smith. 4 laps to go. Stage.
Brandon Jones got past Kyle Busch. He's up to 3rd, and he's coming in hot too.
Like that.
The 21 showing up. The 9, Brandon Jones starting all the way in the back. He's fighting
for the record. Fastest lap of the race has gone to Chandler Smith, and he as Jones makes the pass to go to 2nd spot.
have a restart.
So see, can Jones catch up to the leader? And Kyle Busch is going to move along the outside to pass Chandler Smith. Looks like is the 16 having a problem? 16 is like a stone, and here comes Kyle Busch.
How it can change up when you have a heat cycle on older stuff.
Trying to make a pass on Jones on the inside.
In the wrong direction. What's up, Regan?
Had him some concern a few laps ago. He thought that he had a vibration. He just said he.
And he's about to get passed by Herbst and Mayer.
The team told him though the right front is still up.
Yeah, good news is 3 laps to go on the stage, so just try to hang on to it here, but he's going to lose another spot.
Yep, Jones making the pass back. Oh, man. Oh, damn, the 1698 looked like they bumped, and one passes both of them. Sam Mayer up to 4th. And here comes Sammy Smith as well. Oh, God.
Yeah, we're back to that tire vibration.
That 16 is definitely slow. He's holding up the 98, and the 18 sails by both the 98 and the 16.
Vegas is just one of those places
up to
that
5th, up to 5th
like no
spot.
other place, but,
oh, we got a spinning car. It's who? It's the 45 of Roger Carruth.
It picked up the free pass earlier, so that's going to end our second
Ends the stage. Austin Hill is your stage winner.
Time around for
Brandon Jones second, Kyle Busch third, Sam Mayer fourth, Sammy Smith fifth, Chandler Smith sixth, Riley Herbst seventh, Cole Custer eighth, Brett Moffitt ninth, and Sheldon Creed in 10th.
Gosh, that was weird. You know, he was loose before we even played the video and turning off into turn 1. You know, he was already having his hands. Well, he did a great job keeping it off the wall and staying on the lead lap at the same time.
How big is that for Chandler Smith, who had fallen to 6th, was likely going to lose more positions before the end of the stage, and now he can ride around under caution and pick up a solid top 10 and get some more stage points.
We got 110 laps to go.
This is what we were watching. I mean, you can tell how far off Chandler is here because Herbst just is on top of him.
Yeah, and he actually hit him. You know, Riley got into the back of him. I think he caught him faster than he thought he was going to catch him, and then Chandler was mad because he hit him in the back, and he's already hanging onto his car, and Sammy Smith passes them both.
Look at this top 10 as we come to the green and white checkered flag. Austin Hill wins it, going to be a second stage win of the year, also won at Daytona. Brandon Jones second, then Kyle Busch. After that, though, teenager Sam Mayer, teenager Sammy Smith, teenager Chandler Smith. I mean, youth is served in Las Vegas. All these drivers picking up some much-needed stage points. Riley Herbst, Cole Custer, Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed complete your top 10. But it's Creed's teammate who delivered in our second stage. Austin Hill, the Daytona winners, got him a stage win in Las Vegas.
What's a Walt Disney World thrill feel like? It's like...
Howdy, partners!
And it feels even better together. Disney thrills us like...
KFC has wraps now?
Got 2 for $5.
Wait, there's one with spicy slaw?
Grab 2 new Kentucky Fried Chicken wraps for just $5.
We wait. Anyway, so Bailey Curry gets the free pass. It looks like Ryan Ellis actually fell behind teammate Jeffrey Earnhardt. You know my name before I go. There's like nothing happening. Oh God! Hurry up with this commercial break! God damn it! We want to see pit stops. Pit stop.
Talked on the way to break about the youngsters getting it done in stage 2. A couple of teenagers and a 20-year-old finishing inside the top 6. Talking about Mayer, Sammy Smith, Chandler Smith. So let's look at those teenagers. You got Sammy, you got Sam Mayer, Parker Retzloff. All of them doing great things early this year. I mean, Sammy Smith leading laps last week. Second place finish for Sam Mayer in California.
What the
Parker
fuck?
Retzloff career best at Daytona.
Oh my God, those aren't Photoshopped.
You can't find a picture of me in my racing suit. I mean, we went straight to the wrestling picture.
I like how you were pushing your biceps up in that.
I mean, when you don't have big biceps,
you
gotta
got
try
the
to
squeeze going.
I was all of probably 112 pounds.
Really? That was your weight class?
I think I was 103. I think I was 98. 103, 112, 130, I think is what it was. So
nice.
I was a little guy.
What's the quickest you ever pinned someone?
Pretty quick. I don't remember the exact time. Yeah. I had this hip toss that I wasn't very good at wrestling, but I had this hip toss where I could just throw them on their side and choke them.
Hey, little known fact.
Let me show you?
I was the no, thank you. Okay. I think I've seen it before in the garage actually a couple times. Pit stop.
All right, let's go.
Josh, here they are.
And let's start with the 9 of Brandon Jones. Been really good here, still searching for that first win. Quietly moved his way up to second. He's been really good, feels good about the back of that car today, but he's a little tight through the center. They're going to make an adjustment to help him out. As far as the 10 of Kyle Busch, ongoing process of getting that car where they need it. They're going to make a track bar adjustment, air pressure adjustment to see if they can set him up for this.
I should be updating the stats while we're
Sammy
up
Smith
here.
in
One
the
away
18
from
car,
my
fires
sub
up,
goal
runs
today.
good, but needs help on the exit as the run goes on. That's the biggest issue for that car. What he wants them to
A 16.2 for Brandon Jones. Not a very good pit stop. Kyle Busch a 14.6.
Good all day long,
Sammy Smith
that most recent restart. He
a
loved how it was on the old tires.
16.1. Winner off pit road is Austin Hill. Kyle Busch second. Then Josh Berry with no tires. 21 positions gained. Herbst fourth. Then Jones, Chandler Smith, Mayer, Sammy Smith, Hemrick, and Ryan C.
Not sure. You know, Josh Berry there plus 21, no tires. So I guess they're just, saving a set here and trying to gain track position. Is that?
Well, so he put stickers on when he spun.
Right.
And then he just rode around.
Yeah, okay, there
towards
you
the
go.
end of that stage. So they just took gas to try to get that track position back. So he has a handful of laps on his tires, but he just rode around at, half speed. So.
Caution helped him.
Yeah,
yes,
I
saved
like
a couple
that.
laps.
Great call by crew chief Taylor Moore.
Well, that's what happened. I was wondering because
it
it was like 4 seconds behind. I thought he took
damage.
damage.
The 9 looked good there. Let's talk to him.
Sure did. Hey, Brandon Jones, Kevin Harvick, Adam Alexander, Ryan Blaney up in the booth. You got me.
Go to channel 2. Ryan, go to channel 2. We had to go to channel 2. We're off of channel 1.
Hey, Brandon Jones, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Adam Alexander up in the Fox booth. You got me?
Gotcha, buddy. What's going on?
Man, well, you put on a really good show coming all the way from the back. Had a little bit of issues on pit road before the race, but that Menards car is looking really good. Tell us a little bit what you're thinking.
We are ripping for sure, man. It's been fun. Enjoyed driving this Chevy Camaro to the front here today. Got some guests from Jeld-Wen, so it's pretty cool putting on a show for those guys. And just need to finish, man. They've been really fast these first 2 races. Haven't been able to finish and show it. So hopefully today's turnaround point for that. And we got a Chevy that can win the race.
All right, sounds good. Well, keep doing what you're doing. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it, brother.
5 career wins for Brandon Jones, 2 of them on 1.5 miles. It's a great day in Las Vegas. It's windy, but these kids don't know the difference. They're just having a good
great.
time.
It took me a moment to realize, kids! We don't want to see kids. We want to see cars. I don't want to see Cars for Kids because the jingle will get stuck in my head. And now, just for mentioning it, I bet it's stuck in yours. Nemechek, it looks like his car hasn't been the same ever since I had to pit. You piece of shit. You better land an attack. Thank you. No. Lock on? No. I want to get try attack, but I probably won't until the end game, post game. All right.
Yeah.
30 cars back in the lead lap now. Up to Ryan Sieg.
A little early for the corners and feel it out, you know what I mean?
8 years.
Driving a Bandolero around the whole track.
Some trucks. Is there a thought of
the
you guys
ball
maybe
ring.
racing against each other?
Maybe not against each other, more with each other. Looking forward to that tomorrow, race day. All begins here on FS1 2 Eastern time, then over to Fox at 3.
Couldn't disagree more. Keelan's a trash talker, so maybe Brexton is not a trash talker. I told Keelan I'm going to enter you in the hardest late model stock race I can find, and I'm going to lap you twice. That's going to be his first late
Why
model
am I
stock
not
race.
surprised? Hey,
total competition.
Couple of stories to pay off here. Chandler Smith did have a loose wheel. We confirmed that with the pit stop. Same for John Hunter Nemechek, who came earlier when they had to come under caution because we knew he was fighting it. 2 penalties. Jeremy Clements and Ryan Sieg
that's what happened.
Had infractions under that last cycle of stops, so they will drop to the rear. And Austin Hill here takes the inside lane.
That will be interesting as we get to turn 1.
Justin Allgaier has been able to make it work, and I think Nemechek did earlier as well.
Kudos to
Kyle
those
Busch
drivers
is starting on the outside, front row.
Loose wheels.
Yeah,
Front row on the
That
outside,
probably
as
saves
I
their
should
sanity,
say
too,
it.
of knowing that it was actually loose.
Watch Josh Berry outside second.
All right, here we go. Green again for the final stage. 103 laps to go. Austin Hill's got a good run on that bottom. But Kyle Busch has the momentum. Chandler Smith in third. Going to move up to the high side to help his teammate, but Austin Hill moves up to try and take off some of the air as they go through 3 and 4.
Look at him, right there in their hip pocket in the
He slides
16.
back down to the bottom, right behind Austin Hill.
If you're his spotter, they have to tell
As they
you
come to
that
the
he
line,
is
it's
going
Kyle
green
Busch as he
line
clears
on the
both
restart,
Chandler
down
Smith
front
and Austin Hill
straightaway.
and
You're gonna
takes
have
the
to get more
lead.
defensive
Here
if
comes
he's
Josh
fighting.
Berry down to the inside to try and get past Austin Hill. Up front, it's 2 Collin cars, the 10 and the 16.
Has won 102 times, including a pair of victories here at his home racetrack. had not competed in this series in 595 days. Went 5 for 5 here in 2021, and boy, it'd be something if he could close the deal this afternoon.
Here comes 21 fighting back. Got to the outside of the 16.
But the 9 and the 8 are coming fast, and so is the 98 and the 1.
Tight and had to check up, and the 21 did a great job of getting
more than so the 98 than the 1.
To get to the quarter panel.
9 up, the 9 car up to 4th.
Hey, we talked to him, but Brandon Jones has had a really
rough
nice
start.
Afternoon.
Rough start to the season. Good race so far.
Talk about the first 2 races and the things that they've had go wrong, but they had fast race cars. There's not a worse feeling in the world when you go to a new team or have a new situation to have the first 2 races go bad.
10 trying to block both lanes that are coming at him.
Everybody's
what I notice is, especially on this track, the cars can't seem to get away from each other super well.
Today, it's just been, so far, it's been smooth, and they've run up in the front, and to have that confidence keep building is what he needs.
And his crew chief is Jason Burdett, who, although he hasn't won here with Justin Allgaier, enjoyed all that success over the years when Burdett was
Riley Herbst's trying to make the move to 4th. So he's ahead right now. I don't know whether it'll stay like that once they get to head to the tri-oval. And here comes Chandler Smith to the inside of Kyle Busch, trying to pass the best driver of the generation.
5, 6, 7 laps.
And the 16 way out front, he's going to take it. But that 10 car is faster right now.
Wheel on the right front. I thought he could have, won that second stage, but really showing great speed, going up there and passing the 10 car.
Yeah, I mean, he's not just racing against some other, teenagers or 20-somethings. I mean, I just said it. Kyle Busch is the best ever in the Xfinity Series, and he's able to drive right by him. Impressive. And Chandler, we talk about these young guys. Sammy Smith's 18. He's still taking classes to finish and get his high school diploma.
Got 3 JRM cars running in the top 10, trying to all get past Riley Herbst. Justin Allgaier is going to come and join the fun because he's fighting for 11th with Sheldon Creed.
40-year-olds are doing.
Up to that top dash. You're still clear by 5.
Just past the halfway point in Las Vegas for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Chandler Smith leading Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Brandon Jones, and Josh Berry. We'll take it side by side on FS1.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Much has changed over our 75 years. But the thing that never does, the anticipation, the holding of breath until that first green flag drops. And the crazy journey begins all over again.
All right. Now, looks like Riley Herbst getting around Sam Mayer. Sammy Smith, again, battling. Those 3 have been at each other's throats all day. Chevy, Ford, and Toyota. And they've all been together, fighting. All right, Allgaier battling with Hemrick. That is for a 9th. Allgaier's back in the top 10, and a close in to join the JRM Brigade, who is running 4th, 5th, and 6th. And right now, I should mention, it is positions 1 through 6 are held by Chevrolet. He's closing in on him. Hemrick's actually close up to the back of Sammy Smith. And the 7 closing in on the back of the 11. So what's this? That's Nemechek and Reddick. So now Allgaier battling with Sammy Smith. Oh, I thought he was going to spin out. Oh, I swear, they wanted to eliminate skew, but I feel like I'm noticing it more than ever.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway with Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney. I'm Adam Alexander. 92 laps remaining. Chandler Smith is leading. You know, a story we need to pay off is, you know, Justin Allgaier running in the 8th position, penalized for a restart. He was on the front row, lap 79, had to do the pass-through, didn't lose a lap, but lost a ton of track position, restarted outside the top 15 to begin this final stage, and here he is in the 8th position, and really we shouldn't be surprised. Junior Motorsports strong again. They swept the podium here 2 of the last 3 races, and when you look at Allgaier, the veteran out of Illinois,
7 straight top 10s, 4 straight top 5s, 3 straight third-place finishes.
Top 10s, 4 top 5s in that run, 3 consecutive third-place finishes. And by the way, happy anniversary to he and his wife Ashley, who's here today. 17 years ago today, they walked down the aisle. That means
amazing.
Harper's in charge.
Married in
at
06.
home, right? So anyway, Sam Mayer trying to get back in the top 5.
Fight around
Jones. There's a couple of team cars for Dale Jr.
Yeah, going back to Justin Allgaier, you know, and I think the one thing about him is he's been around this so long and just putting his head back down and getting back to the front. But I really like the way that he can keep his car low right there. And I think he's being patient, and he's just placing his car in the right spot. He's not getting up the racetrack.
7 got around Herbst, so he's in 7. So yeah, JRM once again, 4 is running all now is completely consecutive to each other. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th
on the scoreboard. Junior Motorsports Chevrolets. And hey, there's a streak on the line for them. They've won 5 consecutive races at mile and a half going back to last year. Conventional mile and a half, right? Because we don't include Atlanta anymore because it's, you know, become a speedway.
Yeah, I mean, you saw
super
right
speedway.
Just talked about it when he made the pass the previous lap on the 98. He's just wrapping the line and getting under the rubber. You know, you see kind of a darker patch, a streak of rubber off of 4.
The record is 6 straight.
Slick. You know, if you miss it and wash up a little bit, you're really in trouble. When you saw the 9 miss the bottom, and the 7 is just being really patient and able to wrap
7 got around the 9.
Behind them, 9th right now, Toyota
for 6,
on board.
as they just
Sammy
said.
Smith.
Sammy Smith in 9th. He's about half a second behind Riley Herbst.
A little more than they do. If you run the bottom down here and you miss the line, they're going to pass you every time. Murdering the line. Attaboy. Right with them right there with dirty air. Better.
Cowboy up.
I don't know.
Could be bad for the right side.
Riley Herbst passes the 9. And here comes Nemechek around Sammy Smith. He's back in the top 10.
To the front for
2 call-out cars, 1 RCR car, 4 JRM, 1 Stuart Haas, and 2 Joe Gibbs. But here comes Daniel Hemrick to the inside of Sammy Smith. Trying also to make the move on Nemechek because they're very close to each other. Hemrick loses momentum through the tri-oval, but he's right there. He's going to try again. 7th through 11th coming close.
Is trying to get the car in the right place so that you can go in as far as you can without pushing the front tires or getting loose. And being able to go
Hi, 11 all the way
as much as you
on my
can
channel. I have the race without ads, and you
the
can stay on
corner
YouTube.
And hopefully
Good for you.
Just breathe it so that the car rotates and put it right back down. So if you can't do those things running the top, you're wasting your time. But you have to fill it out a few laps in a row in order to get your rhythm down because it is hard to get a rhythm.
You know, funny.
Yeah, you know, if you go up there,
I would say that this sounds like a great way for you to get a copyright strike and your channel deleted. So
throttle inputs, where you lift and brake and all that. So
plus, I'm 10 laps ahead of you. So
something a little bit. You see him.
But to each their own.
But opposite of what Justin Allgaier is doing, and that's been just, as the spotter put it, murdering the line the whole race, and it's been
fastest car right now is Chandler Smith and Austin Hill.
That he's driving angry, but he definitely was disappointed after the penalty. And when you look at the results, it's hard to ignore that maybe there's some added motivation. I mean, he's back in the top 5, and
that's
he's
going to
pretty
remove
quickly.
that message.
Well, the one thing about running the line,
because I'd rather not you recommend an illegal stream.
You set the car, and as soon as it gets to the line,
it'll almost certainly get taken down.
And you try to shove that car around the corner as far as you can with as much partial throttle as you can to keep it low. And like Ryan was saying earlier, the part where these guys are making time is they're able to keep their car below the rubber. and also keep air on that left front fender in order to help keep that car turning.
Cole Custer started out back today, didn't make a ton of progress early. At one point worked his way to the top 10, now 13th, racing Sheldon Creed.
Here, half, in line, go.
You know, just in front of Custer, Parker Kligerman. And if you weren't with us early, a couple of laps in, you know, some contact with John Hunter Nemechek. He goes for a spin, has to make a pit stop, but he stayed with it. And Patrick Donahue, his crew chief, told me our focus is just making sure we finish where we need to finish. And he had a top 10 last week and knocking on the door, doing it again here today. Chandler Smith in charge in Las Vegas. He's led 41 laps. He's out in front of teammate Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, the top 5. Everybody going to have to pit one more time.
There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park, even extra time with your family in the park. And right now, you can save up to 25% on rooms at select Disney Resort hotels. So if you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
The NASCAR Cup Series rolls into Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Where to win, you gotta go for broke. Sunday at 3 Eastern on Fox.
Adama Sanogo leads the Huskies against Caleb Daniels and the Wildcats.
Point position.
UConn, Villanova, tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox Primetime Hoops.
The World Baseball Classic, Cuba, the Netherlands, Tuesday, 11 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
A promise is a trust not to be broken. Whether spoken with an oath or sealed with a pinky. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission, always.
At Duracell, we're obsessed with bringing a better battery to life. Duracell with Power Boost ingredients helps this mobile spin longer. And the longer this mobile spins, the longer you have to snag a power nap.
Kyle Busch appears to be closing in, though he's about half a second behind right now. Fastest laps, though. Oh, Sam Mayer was fastest the last lap. They're coming up on lap traffic now, which might be the source of where some problem stuff gets in. Blaine Perkins got lapped, and Jeffrey Earnhardt got lapped, and next is Ryan Ellis, and he can't be too far behind.
Mm-hmm. 75 laps to go. NASCAR Xfinity Series at Las Vegas. In the midst of a long green flag run here in the final stage, Chandler Smith in front of Kyle Busch, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier continue to be the top 5.
Oh, okay, that's lap traffic.
It's crazy
53
has
already gone a lap down.
We see this every year here. First 2 stages, tight quarters, incredible racing, in and around guys for position. You get to the final stage, things start to drift. Guys, as you guys talked about, start moving your line around as the track changes.
Allgaier got around Sam Mayer, fastest lap the last lap.
Flag pit stops that'll be happening in the next 20, 25 laps.
Yeah, you know, we've seen Kyle's moved up to running pretty much the wall both ends. He hasn't been able to run as high in 1 and 2, but you know, it's starting to eat away a little bit at the 16th lead. It's not a lot. I mean, it's half a tenth, maybe a tenth. So it'd be curious to see, okay, when does the 16 decide to move up and have to do something different? Because the second place guy's catching you, he's doing something different.
Garrett Smith pits.
And you have to understand that there comes a time you need to do it, and if he's going to do it, it probably should be now, because much longer, the 18, or I keep saying the 18, but Kyle Busch is going to be
old habits
all
die
over
hard.
his back bumper.
Well, they both better figure something out because Justin Allgaier is coming.
Yeah, he's got by Mayer, yeah.
Finally got around Sam Mayer and has put down some great lap times the last couple laps.
I mean, he's only 2.5 seconds back, and in a perfect world, I mean, for Allgaier, you probably want the caution, tighten everything up, and maybe gain some ground on pit road. But even if you don't get it through a cycle of green flag pit stops, maybe short pit a little bit here, he could really find himself right back in the mix. You're talking about Chandler Smith and needing to move around and paying attention to what Kyle's doing, but he's so young, and very few long green flag runs like this in his history because of all the time in the Craftsman Truck Series where you just don't see this.
Next car to be lapped will be Clements.
Coaching him
Jeremy
instead
Clements.
of him asking, what's he doing behind me? Are you telling him, hey, you got to think about moving up, or here's where he's gaining? Well, what do you do if you're on the spotter stand or you're his crew chief in this situation?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with his preparation and the things that go into how he gets ready for a race.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, he moved up and 1 and 2 during the middle, and he's actually gapped Kyle a little bit here, and he stayed patient on the bottom of 3 and 4. So while Kyle what he was doing was closing in on Chandler for a little bit.
Clements gets lapped
to run the top. It can get you speed, but it also wears your stuff out a little bit more than running the bottom. So now it's gotten to where Chandler's pulled away from Kyle. Kyle's starting to struggle a little bit. So it's a good thing he didn't change his line just by a little bit 1 and 2 to run the middle, and I think that's got him to where he's been able to, be faster than Kyle.
Parker Kligerman will save off the corner after some contact.
Kyle Busch and Austin Hill, second and third.
You talk about Chandler.
Allgaier, the fastest car on track, is now within almost at 2.5 seconds behind Zedidell.
Trying to pick up second with 70 to go. And he's got it.
Yeah, Kyle might have wore stuff up out there running the top. It's you have to run more throttle, more steering wheel. You're just kind of beating up your stuff.
Austin Hill makes that
like
pass.
I said, it might have just
inside.
went away for him. It showed speed for a while, and he might have just burned his right front off of it.
One thing to keep
Justin
in mind
Allgaier is coming too.
Working the lap traffic here.
A lot of lap traffic now. Bailey Curry gets lapped. Raja Caruth goes a lap down.
But there's a lot of commonalities between those vehicles running in the top 3, and then teammates right behind.
Allgaier, he's blasting. He's almost. Allgaier is almost half a second faster than the leaders.
Only 2 seconds behind the race.
Yeah, half a second faster than the leader.
He is getting after it in this final stage.
Or at least it was previously, but yeah, he's. It's on
Talk
rails.
About the win today. Here's our race leader, Chandler Smith, on the radio.
And to be fair, Chandler Smith got in the lap traffic, so that might have helped with that. Maybe Caruth didn't get lapped.
He might only be 20 years old.
I guess he didn't get lapped. I thought he did. Just Bailey Curry got lapped in that gaggle.
I know it's gusting. I've missed the bottom there a couple times. Why is that? Okay, the wind's gusting more, so keep me updated on that as a driver.
Fastest lap last lap was Nemechek. He's up to 8th.
Not even maybe change your line around, just know what to expect. Maybe back up turn 3 a little bit to make sure you don't miss the bottom. So that was a very, very veteran thought that Chandler Smith had.
He might have veteran thoughts, but I was talking to him in the garage yesterday. And he couldn't be more of a kid. I mean, just bouncing around off
Josh
the wall,
Berry, Riley
excited
Herbst.
about what's going to happen.
That's for
and I mean, you see it in the
6th.
race car. When we talked about him on these restarts, how aggressive he is.
Kyle Busch falling back.
Chandler Smith. And today and last week, backing up everything we saw success-wise.
Sam Mayer trying to navigate through the same traffic.
Truck Series the last couple of years as Kyle Busch continues to drip back a little bit here. I just wonder if he's not, nursing a little something with that car and just trying to get to the window to make that green flag pit stop. And we're within 5-6 laps of being in the window to pit and go the distance, and probably 10 or 12 laps.
Allgaier's come up to the number 2 car, the second place car, number 21 of Austin Hill.
Yeah, this is going to be crucial for Allgaier to get by Austin Hill, and it looks like he's going to have a good run off for him.
Yep, right on the inside. Here he comes.
Doing the patent thing he's done all day.
Ooh,
right? I mean, just wrapping the line.
my man. Allgaier gets it done.
All the yours, and I'm going to make you pay for it. And now that he's gotten to second, he's going
to go to town.
Track before he gets to some lap cars. To try to see what he has. Okay, you got some fresh air on your nose now. Now let's see what you can do to cut into
the leader, Chandler Smith, is coming up on 4 cars that are all within 2 seconds of each other. Anthony Alfredo, Ryan Sieg, Kyle Sieg, and Kyle Weatherman. That's 21st through 24th. Sam Mayer gets around Kyle Busch for 4th.
We talk about Chandler Smith. Got to give a call to another young guy in Sam Mayer. He is really matured. I mean, he starts Daytona and going for the win and ends up upside down. Finishes outside the top 20, bounces back last week. No practice at California. Matches his career best second and answering the bell again this afternoon.
He's definitely done a great job, and I think the progression that he has made from last year and what the start of this year is really, really promising. So I'll be excited to see where Sam Mayer can go.
Hopefully he can win a race.
Because I think he's going to be contending for wins and potentially a championship.
39 laps since the restart to begin the final stage. Allgaier 18th to 2nd after that penalty on the restart at lap 79. That's just incredible what the 7's doing here. And oh, by the way, he's never won here. Three runner-ups. And you can see where everybody is since they last pitted. And they need to get probably another 4 or 5 laps. I mean, really a couple of laps, and they'll be inside their window.
Fastest lap, Sam Mayer.
He would have enough probably to go the distance. Even
actually, Ryan Ellis, but who cares because he's a lap, because he's 3 down.
And the window is open. Green flag pit stops underway. The first to give it up, not really surprisingly, is going to be Kyle Busch. In fact, we haven't seen him pull off yet, but we have heard that this will be the time for him. And
not this. Oh, there he goes. Oh!
Yeah, and if you're Kyle, you're falling back. You're
looks
struggling.
Slippery.
Gosh, he was aggressive coming to pit road.
Barely.
So we'll see what they can do.
I think he's going to lose time on pit road just because of the angle of his entrance.
He came into pit saying he's getting really, really tight, especially towards the end of that run. So they need a little something to help him out.
By being the first to pit, getting those fresh tires first.
Here comes Chandler.
Yeah, you're going to drag him. The leader's coming.
Here comes Chandler.
Pit road. Allgaier stays out. So you'll see that a lot. The first guy to pit in the top 5 or so might drag other guys in.
Let's get Smith on Smith, Regan on Chandler, the leader coming your way.
Right.
Adam Chandler Smith, it feels like that team has been doing a great job all day long keeping up with the racetrack. That's one thing he's been very pleased with this run. Quiet on the radio. He's told to focus on looking out front and worrying about what he needed to do there. He has been quiet since then.
Also, I should mention, I have a Discord server.
Kyle Busch was 6 seconds behind Chandler Smith when he came to pit road. So we'll see how all of this cycles out. And 1 lap later, here comes Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Ryan Sieg also in that mix, making a pit stop scheduled under green, Regan.
Justin Allgaier, that race car is just loose in, tight in the center, and loose off right now. He's been doing a great job all day of conserving tires and telling the team that he was conserving tires to have a little speed at the end of runs. Needs to continue doing that. And Austin Hill in the 21, too loose on the throttle. That's the first time he's mentioned that all day long, meaning the back wants to step out when he gets on the gas pedal to exit the corners.
Allgaier was 1.6 seconds behind Chandler Smith when they cycled to pit road. We'll continue to follow the progress there. More green flag pit stops, Josh.
Yep, and the one of Sam Mayer is coming in. He said that car is pretty good, just a little snug on the bottom, so they're giving 4 tires fuel and make a track bar adjustment.
And just behind him, Sammy Smith sideways coming in.
Oh,
this is a young driver making a
Sammy
green flag
Smith,
pit stop.
bad pit stop, slipped,
really lucky that
getting into the pit stop
before he got to the 1 box because they were full over the wall doing their stop. Really lucky that nothing happened there.
More pit stops, Regan.
Adam, the 98 of Riley Herbst. That race car was tight early on in the day.
Sammy Smith's going to lose a lot of position because he slipped into he spun into the pit stop behind Sam Mayer. No, spun. Okay, he slid into it, but that's not where his pit stop is. It's not where his stall is, so he had to. He just went to pit and he's lost a lot of valuable time.
You know, we talk about green flag cycles and then who's going to get to pit road well.
Kyle Busch came out ahead of Allgaier.
The first stall be an advantage today, and it paid off for Austin Hill. He's actually going to cycle.
Austin Hill cycled out into the lead
and surpassed him, which is huge for the 21 group.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Hill, a driver that's won here twice in the Craftsman Truck Series, and I mean, so much experience for him, and you got to believe experience matters. And you talk about location on the pit lane, and we got to report Sammy Smith has been penalized. I'm assuming he was probably too fast entering, right? I mean, it was a penalty. I didn't get a call on exactly what the penalty was, but Sammy Smith will have the pass-through penalty here as Josh Berry makes his stop. So we're looking at the scoring pylon. Anthony Alfredo yet to come down and get his service, and then it will all cycle through to Austin Hill as the new race leader with 55 laps to go. Brett Moffitt in the 25. Talk about being aggressive coming in. Watch Josh Berry.
Oof. He did a really good job of getting it wound up, and this is a tough pit road to get on. You know, your stuff is worn out. You know the wind's pushing you off of 4, and you're trying to push it as far as you can, until you get on the brakes. And he did a good job of getting it slowed down. But this is going to be a heck of a race. But Chandler Smith just went up and got by the 21.
Yeah, he did. Chandler Smith
16 retakes the lead.
Flag pit stops, but he has been able to get back by Austin Hill. The 16 is back on point.
He made that look easy, too. I mean,
and the 19 of Joe Graff Jr. is about to go a lap down. What a shitty driver.
And he just drove up and straight past Austin Hill. So we've seen.
Anyways, 17 cars remain on the lead lap. More lap traffic to come.
Cut it down. He's just over 2 seconds behind. Allgaier lost a little bit of ground, but we'll see where this long road goes. Still a long ways to go. 53 laps to the end. If it runs green, that's a long time on your tires. So tire management is still very important.
Brandon Jones scored 11th, but he was penalized speeding on pit road during his green flag cycle, so he will have to make a pass through. 52 laps remaining. Everybody can go the distance on fuel. Most should have at least one set of tires should we get a late caution. So we might not be done with
Austin Hill coming back around.
Chandler Smith has a slight advantage over Austin Hill. Kyle Busch a couple of seconds back. 3 seconds in arrears is Allgaier. Sam
fastest
Mayer
car
completes the top 5.
Mayer, no. Nemechek
running down Austin Hill.
Yeah, Austin Hill was a little bit of traffic, so he had to run the second lane. Looks like he got really loose right in the center, and it just opened the door for the 16. Made it pretty ezy.
Kaz Gralla also goes a lap down.
Austin Hill radio.
15 cars on the lead lap.
You know, and Austin Hill says his car won't fire, right? So it doesn't fire off well on new tires. And, you know, it's different from a green flag stop to a stop after a caution or a restart, because usually your air pressures are a little bit lower on the yellow flag stops, but you have a couple of pace laps to work them in and kind of get the pressures up. And green flag stops, you're going right away, right? You're supposed to be up to full speed. So having lower pressures, maybe it makes it
Hi,
harder
Randy Bowman. 21 Penske looks at the 2006 scheme. The Coast Guard one, that one was blue and orange, whereas the 21 number color is more pinkish magenta.
Pressures if that pays off for them in the long run.
More bad news for Brandon Jones. When he did his pass through on a speeding penalty, he was caught speeding again.
Two speeding penalties, you fucking dickwad. Fuck off.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
How about no? Okay, I'll take a Chevrolet any day. Jeb Burton goes a lap down, and so does Brandon Jones, I guess, had to pit for the speeding penalty. 13 cars on the lead lap. Remember when I was at Charlotte, I think the race ended with 3 or 4 cars on the lead lap. Josh Berry won by about 18 seconds. But it's ridiculous the pace the top cars have. you'll know my name before I go. On the final curtains. You thought you had me, you thought that I was done, but I'm stronger up against the road. I am a fighter. Before this fight is over, you know my name before I go. Mountain Bush. I mean, they don't sing the damn song anymore, so I don't like it. Bring back the song. Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush Light beer. They brought back the song, good song. And then they just haven't done shit with it since. Last fastest lap. Kyle Busch is way slower than the leaders. Or more than half a second ahead of more than half a second slower than first and second. Current fastest car is now Sam Mayer. But he's 8.5 seconds behind. So bar something crazy happening. Looks like Chandler Smith is going to take the W.
Exchange. Chandler Smith continues to lead, but Justin Allgaier, who was so good late in that last run, has dropped to 4th after the cycle. Sam Mayer from 5th to 4th. Let's hear from the 7 team here talking about that last set of pit stops.
If we're short, are they short, or did we not get it full? No, it's on me. I pitted you a little too early. I should have ran you deeper. Right now we're at a half a lap.
Okay, so this makes sense. Why he doesn't have the pace, right? He's into save mode. He probably saved early to where he could go hard at the end of a run.
Yeah, and I think that the best way to do that is probably in the position that he's in. Partial throttle. Usually what you try to do is you try to go through the corners as fast as you can. Try to go full speed through the corners, and then after you get to the exit of the corner, then you try to come back and bleed the throttle back to like 70% down the straightaway. And you do that for whatever the engineers are telling you that you need to do that amount of save for the amount of laps that you save for in order to save the gas that you need if they're that close.
Anyway, Allgaier makes the pass.
He's going to get 3rd here
on Kyle Busch, who's falling backwards.
At 4.5 seconds behind the leader, if you don't get a caution, I mean, you've given up more than 2 seconds over where you were in relation to Chandler Smith prior to the cycle of stops. So I'm not going to say he has to have a caution because we have seen him turn it up over the course of the long run today, but it will be difficult with 41 to go.
You know, it will be, and there's two ways to approach that. You know, they said he was a half lap short, so then you have a decision to make. Okay, do I save now, you know, early in this run? You lose track to the leader, but then maybe you can go hard at the end of the race to see if you can make some late race charge, or do you just go hard, you know, and hope you get a caution? If you don't, and if you don't with maybe 10 to go, then you start saving, you know. So there's kind of 2 ways to approach it. I've been on both sides of it, and I don't know which one is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You're kind of hurting, you know, no matter what, but that's what they decided to do.
Chandler Smith working through lap traffic. Sometimes it's easier than others, and here, coming up on him, and
Reddick
maybe loses his focus. Watch what happens here as he runs up on these guys.
What happened?
Woo! I guess we missed it. All right. I got a little excited. That's what happens when you haven't seen it. You try to talk about it, and then boom.
And here he goes, lapping Reddick.
Yeah, I think it was, you know, Reddick in the 24 and Clements in the 51. Reddick had a big run up top and did a big kind of top-to-bottom swing when he realized there was not going to be a lane up top and cut it extremely close. That was almost a really big one.
Well, hey, but for Reddick, I mean, this is big because he's the final car on the lead lap, 13th right now. So he's going to do everything he can to stay in front of Chandler Smith here. And does that hold up the 16 and open the door for Austin Hill? maybe even Justin Allgaier to gain a little ground.
Well, the good thing about everything that's happening is this right here. He's running the top of the racetrack, and Chandler's running the bottom, so Chandler can get some clean air in his car. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit give and take in 1 and 2. Just try to maintain your distance, make up your ground in 3 and 4. Pick and choose where you can make up that ground. So just be patient, put your car into clean air, and just let it come to you.
37 laps to go. Let's take a quick 30-second commercial break. We'll come
30 seconds? I'll time it.
It's been a wild afternoon in Las Vegas. This is Sammy Smith.
KFC has wraps now?
Got 2 for
You said 30 seconds? I'll time it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Wow, that was actually 30 seconds. I'm impressed, Fox.
Vegas, Nevada, Las Vegas Motor Speedway last night, round 2 in 2023 for the Craftsman Truck Series. Kyle Busch able to get the victory. Tomorrow, 3rd race of the year for the Cup cars. And today, it's all about the NASCAR Xfinity Series, racing at Las Vegas for the 32nd time. And it's the young 20-year-old out of Georgia, Chandler Smith, who leads. In fact, he's been dominant. Out front for 82 laps and in charge with 35 to go. And he has a 2.5-second advantage over second place Austin Hill, and still trying to get around Tyler Reddick and put him a lap down.
Oh, he didn't get around him. I thought he did get around him.
As he gets closer, right? And Reddick
that could help Austin Hill
where he wants to be.
And any of the cars.
See a big piece of trash up in the top of turn 1 up there. Looked like a trash bag.
I think the 16 will get it done here. He got a good run off of 2. I think he'll be able to clear Tyler. Tyler's going to try hard. I mean, right, he wants to stay on the lead lap, but the 16 finally got by him without too much damage. You know, Allgaier didn't close on him too much. The 21 didn't at all, so he did a good job there being patient.
You know, you think about the day for Chandler Smith. Goes out yesterday, wins the pole, and we all felt like it's going to be hard to maintain that track position. He did. Then he had the debris on the grill. Thought he was overheating. At one point, we got a report he might be blowing up. But they battled through all of that. In fact, he had that caution. If you go back, he had that loose wheel at the end of stage 2, and he might have fallen outside the top 10, maybe lost a lap, had to make an unscheduled stop. Caution comes out to end the stage so they can ease out of the throttle and make their pit stop under caution. And then we have a cycle of green flag pit stops. Not easy to execute. He doesn't have the most experience in that category. But once again, he delivers.
Yeah, and the one thing that sticks out to me, I think, for me sitting up here today, I'm kind of judging Colleague on their cars from last year. I felt like AJ did a great job of getting them great finishes, but they just didn't always have the speed and things that they needed last year. These are different race cars. These Colleague race cars right now, that Chandler Smith is doing a great job, but I always tell everybody, you can't drive a slow car fast. And that car is fast. Chandler's doing a great job with it, but Colleague has done a great job in turning their program up, and you know the performance on the racetrack is showing.
But you think about ownership in NASCAR right now. And a handful of years ago, you know, we kind of said, where are all the owners going to come from? And you look at the new owners and the various dynamics, you know, what Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan are doing, and the success at Trackhouse with Justin Marks and Pitbull and Brad Keselowski and his involvement now at RFK. And then I look at Matt Colleague. I mean, totally non-traditional, a businessman that comes in and starts with a part-time Xfinity operation. And how many times have we seen that? And it's a flash in the pan, and it doesn't work.
He loves it.
And he's doing unbelievable and growing it from the ground up. It's been impressive what they've done.
Yeah, Matt Colleague loves racing, and he loves to win. The only thing I don't like about Matt Colleague is every time I see him, I know I have to walk up to him, and he's got this big ring on. And he wants to shove it right into your fist as hard as he can every time you see him to say hello.
Well, yeah, he was a college football player, a college athlete, and
29 to go.
Successful business.
Chandler Smith leads by almost 3 seconds.
Chris Rice has worked really hard to lead the bunch, and here they are today in position for another victory. Got 12 cars on the lead lap. Reddick went a lap down. He was 13th. Last car now scored on the lead lap was Parker Kligerman.
12.
Second place, Austin Hill. Won the season opener at Daytona. 6th last week in Fontana. And in line for his best Vegas run today. You got Justin Allgaier back there in third. It feels like this is how the race should finish, because if he finished third today, it would be the 4th consecutive race where he came home at the bottom of the podium. That's incredible. Kyle Busch trying to sweep the weekend. Won last night in the truck race, making his return to the Xfinity Series. 2 wins here at Vegas. Hometown boy is 4th, driving for Kaulig for the first time. Going to run that car 5 times this year.
Well, Sam Mayer's putting together another fantastic run. You know, he's been really consistent. You know, you said it at the start of the show, was really close to the win at Daytona and ended up on his lid, and you know, had a great run last week at Fontana, running second, putting together another good run today.
You know, we felt like there'd be a lot of focus on Josh Berry this weekend because he's won here twice in the Xfinity Series. Little did we know, and in case you haven't heard, Chase Elliott broke his tibia snowboarding in Colorado yesterday. Had surgery last night. He's going to be out an indefinite amount of time. It's going to be Josh Berry who drives the 9 car this weekend for Hendrick Motorsports. So Josh Berry has had some added attention. Behind him on track in 7th, Riley Herbst. Hometown driver looking for his 3rd consecutive top 10 to begin the season.
Custer's in 11th, by the way.
Successful afternoon. Won the opening stage.
Kevin Harvick,
had a
yeah,
loose wheel
that
cost
team.
him some track position. But he's looking at another top 10 and 8. Sheldon Creed, 7th last year. 9th right now.
Oh, yeah, 9th. I'm trying to find him on the board, and I couldn't find him.
Top 10 of the season. 2nd-year driver out of California, piloting the 2 car for Richard Childress Racing, and rounding out the top 10, Daniel Hemrick. Statistically, this is one of his better tracks. The South Point colors on board this weekend. The Gaughan family does such a good job of taking care of the NASCAR community when we come out here to Las Vegas. 24 to go. We'll step aside. The finish coming in Vegas. Chandler Smith trying to finish the deal and get his first career victory.
All right. I'm sure people are wondering, some people are praying for caution. I'm in an entire Discord that just hates Chandler Smith. Update the stats again. I'm pretty sure I've hit the view goal, which is 100. We did 130, 100 exactly. Did we hit the sub goal? Yeah, we did. Sweet. We have hit all goals for this stream. Now just sit back, relax, and wonder how this ends.
Nemechek was able to win for the 3rd time in his career. But one of the great storylines to come out of that race is rookie driver Chandler Smith, who got a career best 4th place finish at a very difficult track that he had never seen before last weekend. In fact, was able to get a top 5 with no practice, no
coming up
qualifying.
on Alfredo.
The momentum carried over. Comes here to Las Vegas, wins the pole, and is dominating this race. 2 more laps led will put him at the century mark. The question becomes, can he finish the deal? And the last thing he wants to see here is a caution with 19 remaining.
Well, they're going to go.
Nemechek
go a long way
battling
on this,
Herbst
on this
for
run of
7th.
tires. So the cars are
Nemechek holding on to the
drive. You see
position.
a lot of guys running up the fence.
Joe
and
Graff
just
Jr.
hang that
a
field,
lap
green
down.
Flag, and if it's going to be a caution, it'll be late.
John Hunter Nemechek, the win last week, and
that was almost your caution.
Yeah. Racing tight there with Riley Herbst. They're 7th and 8th on track.
Anthony Alfredo still trying to fight back, it looks like. He's
Anthony
already a lap
Alfredo
down. This
cuts
is
in
puts him
behind
2 under.
Race leader Chandler Smith. Continues to be 12 cars on the lead lap. Last of those, Parker Kligerman. He's 28 seconds behind the race leader. See the lap times here for Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, he made a little bit of ground. He and Austin Hill made a little bit of ground on the 16. Chandler was stuck in a little bit of lap traffic and took him a couple laps and lost, half a second or so. But he's been able to pick it up, and he was 2/10 quicker than those guys this past lap. So once he got clear, and he still has a lot of lap traffic in front of him, but I think he can kind of go whenever he wants. He definitely has the pace. It's just a matter of maintaining your gap, right? If you can maintain a 2-second gap, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, I said lap time. That was obviously the interval to the leader. Here's what they're saying on 7 radio.
Definitely time to go. It's just hard right here because pushing it harder doesn't necessarily equate to more speed. And farther, save me fuel and keep doing what you're doing.
I mean, I would say though, 4.5 seconds. So now here we are at, under 3, and he's knocking it down a little bit here.
A bit, but not enough.
Yeah, and a lot of times the team has to know. Tell me what you're doing. I mean,
he was about 0.4 seconds faster the last lap. Closer to maybe 0.3.
What's the risk versus reward?
Probably just because of lap traffic. So
should I finish 3rd instead of 23rd?
Lap traffic for Chandler Smith.
He's got a lot of lap traffic in front of him.
Yeah.
There's 4 guys, 4 lap cars in front of him. They're kind of running every lane. One's running the wall, one running the middle, the bottom. So he's got a little bit of work cut out for him here. But luckily, he's got a decent cushion to where he can still take his time and be able to pick through these guys.
13
Austin Hill's now down to less than 2 seconds.
The pressure of trying to win for the first time at this level. I mean, it's hard to put a price tag on how someone this young can handle the big stage.
There really hasn't seemed to be much to bother him today, though.
You're right.
The restarts, Kyle Busch, whoever it was, he just went 3 wide and made it happen. So, this kid's doing a great job.
Chandler Smith, 20 years old, from Talking Rock, Georgia. Began racing go-karts at age 4. Won a Bandolero championship before moving to late models. In his 4th ever start, he won an ARCA race at age 16. Said, I'm ready to go racing in the Craftsman
my
Truck
new
Series.
marker now. Allgaier is going to dip below the 2-second mark.
Including a victory here at Las Vegas 1 year ago. And there's the man that feels like today he's got the master plan.
Matt Collig, the owner of Collig Racing.
Who signed Chandler Smith and could be seeing the fruits of his labor in his 3rd career start as a full-time driver. 11 laps remaining this time by.
Well, think about Chandler Smith. I mean, Chandler Smith was a Toyota truck guy. And those guys at Collig, Matt Collig and his team reached out and said, hey, we're gonna go grab this guy and we're gonna put him in our car. And that's a gutsy move, to go out and take a chance like that.
Might not be over just
yet. Some insight and confidence in what Chandler could do in the car, and Chandler is showcasing exactly what he can do
Austin
today.
Hill might get him at the end.
mentioned the fact that he won here last year.
10 to go.
in the Craftsman
Last
Truck
lap.
Series.
Austin Hill showed off another
And it wasn't easy
another
then
2
either.
tenths.
He was racing with his teammates.
He's about one.
up
He's
front.
4/3
Boss
second.
man,
He's 4/3 of a
Kyle
second
Busch. You talk
behind.
about the the Toyota connection and what he was able to do the last couple of years.
I mean, again, there's lap traffic to contend with, which is probably slowing him down. But
here's a look back.
Austin Hill is now within a second, almost within a second. Allgaier is running similarly laps of similar speed.
John Hunter Nemechek was up there.
So we have 9 to go.
You know, the lead's down to under a second. Chandler had a tough
21
time
cars coming, and so is the 7.
And Seek was kind of in his lane, so we'll see here. But
We'll see, though.
Now Austin Hill and Allgaier have to pass Seek, so you know it's difficult on those guys too. So we'll see. I think he'll be able to stretch it out just a little bit here once he's finally got clear, but probably a little bit closer for comfort, to be honest with you.
Perhaps, yes. Last laps are nearly basically identical. So lap traffic is what helped him catch up.
1.03 seconds. And ticking in the wrong direction if you're Chandler Smith.
Yeah, we'll have to see this lap. The last lap was in line with the lap time wise with the 2 cars behind him, and now that he's able to get clear track, we'll see what the lap time is as he comes by here. But a lot of times, you know, he's been on the bottom most of the day.
All right, 7 to go.
When you're on the bottom and you creep in on a lap car and it takes the air off the front of the car, it winds up costing you more time because you can't go anywhere else and your car's not versatile, and he's locked into that one spot. But he's in line with the guys behind him. But Justin Allgaier is a 10th and a half faster.
Hill down under a second, and now the question becomes...
That's not enough for Allgaier to catch him, though.
That's when it's
unless
really
there's
going
lap
to get
traffic.
fun to watch. But we're running out of time. 6 laps to go here.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the 7 is definitely better than the 21. You know, but 21 is running his lane and doing a good job of staying on the bottom of 3 and 4, and is forcing Justin to have to move up, right? Because he has to try something. He has to get the second. If he gets the second, we got a heck of a race on our hands.
Maybe.
You looking in the rear view?
21
Chandler Smith,
coming up to 3/4 of a second behind. We got something big here. We could have something going here.
You're looking out. Let's hear what Justin Allgaier thinks.
All right, boys, let's get that Jaws music going. Let's go.
Austin Hill now within 2/3 of a second as we have 5 to go.
You know, I mean, I thought the 16 was going to be able to kind of stretch
another
it out
lap
a little
car.
bit more, but Austin Hill is putting on a really good charge.
Austin
too.
Hill is
you know,
hard
Chandler
charger.
Smith,
This would be
young
his
kid,
first
going for
non-super
your first
speedway win
Xfinity
in the Xfinity
nerves
Series.
are there. You know, I mean, you had a 3-second lead. It's down to half a second, just over half a second.
Just over
now.
half a second.
Now it's a matter of, okay, compose yourself, do what you've been doing all day, hit your line, and be able to finish this thing off.
Focus on your marks.
All right, the gap's like 0.6 seconds.
How comfortable
4 to
are you
go.
being uncomfortable? And you know, right now is a day where this is a moment. These are moments right now where Chandler Smith is
Probably not going to hit the next real lap. I don't know how much lap cars are left.
Race for the win with 4 laps to go. Trying to get your first Xfinity win. There's a lot to that from a nerve standpoint.
Speaking of nerves, I mean,
he's
you
coming.
Right now, I've got some butterflies watching this unfold.
Chandler Smith.
Excited. Yes, 3 to go.
Oh man, 3 to go. Oh, I see lap traffic ahead. This could be big.
It's going to get inside a half a second here.
It's going to be interesting. You know, as the 21 gets closer, all right, he's going to get more dirty air. So, do you move around if you're the 21? You've been chipping away. You know, you're under half a second.
Right there.
Do you move around?
0.46, 0.45. 0.41.
That's where it needs to be, right there, on that white line, because that's really the best way to protect what you have right now is try to give as little air as possible.
He's under 0.4, and maybe the lap. I overstated how big the lap traffic difference was. Up to 0.3, less than 0.3. He's getting closer and closer.
And Austin Hill.
Here he comes. He's right behind. He's right to the getting so close, right to the back bumper. We could have a hell of a finish right here. He's gonna try and deep low, dig low. Here he comes. Here he comes. He ducks inside. Chandler Smith leaps up. He gets past. Hill takes the lead. Last lap at Las Vegas. Here comes Allgaier to the outside of Chandler Smith. Holy crap. Chandler Smith has dominated the latter half of this race, and he's going to choke it away on the last 2 laps, the last 3 miles. Allgaier clears Chandler Smith, and he's starting to fly on the backstretch. Could he have a shot at the victory? Here we go. As we go to the final 2 turns, it's going to be one of 2 Chevrolets right now. The 21 and the 7 going to duke it out. As we go through 3 and 4, he's going to get his first non-zipper speedway win. It's Austin Hill winning at Las Vegas.
What a finish, and what a charge by Austin Hill and Justin Allgaier. And
wow. Chandler Smith, Allgaier second, Chandler Smith third, Kyle Busch fourth, Josh Berry fifth, John Hunter Nemechek in sixth, Sam Mayer seventh, Riley Herbst eighth, Sheldon Creed in ninth, Daniel Hemrick in 10th.
What a start to the year for Austin Hill. 2 for 3.
And the one
what
time
a
he didn't win,
choked it away.
In
Oh man.
So we just talked about 1 and 2 with not painting the white line and letting him get air on the front of the car. And he just misses the white line by a foot. And it just allowed Austin hit it perfectly and was able to just hook that line and get a great run off of turn 4.
Well, they said the one thing they needed in that 21.
Wow. Austin Hill takes his 2nd win of the season. It's a career win number 4.
And they said they needed to get better over the long haul. And
wow.
He saved his best for last today.
Like, they gained back like somewhere like 4 seconds on Chandler Smith. It's never over till it's over, and my goodness.
Career win number 4 for Austin Hill. A pair of Daytona victories, got the home win last summer at Atlanta. And today he delivers for Richard Childress Racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
And that was a perfect burnout. Ended driver's side right in the middle of the start-finish line. It's professional at that.
And what a year for RCR already. You know, 1 Daytona with Austin Hill, 1 last week on the Cup side with Kyle Busch, 1 today. I mean, RCR is off to a very,
RCR's on
good
fucking
start
fire.
to the 2023 season.
They've won at least 1 race every single weekend. Austin Hill with Global Industrial on the hood takes the W.
He continues to grow in the various areas of his racing craft. He's become a good road racer. We know he's good on the super speedways. He proved that at Daytona and Atlanta, and now becoming good on the intermediates.
And that's what the Xfinity Series is all about. You know, making these drivers better and being able to give them an opportunity to run high, to run low, to race for wins at the end of a race and perform under pressure situations. And
only 12 cars finished on the lead lap.
Getting better. For RCR, it's their 5th Vegas win. Let's hear from the victor down to Regan.
What a start to the season it has been for Austin Hill. 2
His
wins
first win in Vegas,
in 3 races. This one extremely exciting. It comes down to the last lap. You had to run a 60-plus lap run at the end of the race there. Still had something left in the race car. How exciting did that get?
Man, I passed on one of the lap cars early in our run. When the 16 got by me, I got really, really loose on entry to 3. Thought I was going to wreck it, saved it, and 16 got really far out. So I just knew I had to, not abuse the tires and try to methodically just work our way through traffic. Traffic was really tough today. You had to really paint the line down in 3 and 4. If you missed it by, it seemed like half an inch, you paid for it for the whole lap. So that's just really what I stuck to all race long, was just trying to be really disciplined down there in 3 and 4. Our 1 and 2 was okay most of the day, but entry to 3, I was struggling. The 7, you could tell he was coming out back, and he could really drive in deep and roll to the center a lot better than I could. So I saw the 16 struggling in traffic. And my spotter, Derek, was like, come on, baby, you can get it. We got 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go. And when I saw him get tight off of 4 there, I knew I painted the line perfectly, and I knew if I could clear him down the front stretch, I felt like once we got clean air, we could hold him off. So I can't thank everybody at RCR enough. Our Global Industrial Chevrolet was good today. I wouldn't say it was perfect. We still got some things to work on, but it feels good to win on a 1.5 miles, not just these super speedways.
Here with Chandler Smith, led 115 laps, but what happened at the end? And I saw you just talking to Kyle Busch. What did he say to you?
Yeah, and just overall, I got a little tight there at the very end, which it is what it is. That's a tough pill to swallow.
There's some things I could have done inside before we started building tight, just getting my lead to be a little bit bigger, to have a bigger buffer. But all in all, I can't be too disappointed. You know, this is my 6th start, 3rd start with colleague racing. We have a really, really fast quick type product, Chevy Camaro. I'm just really appreciative of everybody with Matt Colley, Chris Rice, everybody colleague racing for bringing me on board and believing in me. We're gonna win a few races this year for sure.
A lot to be proud for Chandler Smith, guys.
Anyway,
No
Austin,
doubt,
the
Josh.
first
Mad
repeat winner of the year.
for Chandler Smith. I mean, it doesn't
10
get the finish
spots
he wanted.
still
but
available
handled
for points,
like a pro,
guys. For
and
points,
he'll be
guys.
back, no doubt about it. Congratulations.
And that
Austin
ends
Hill.
today's coverage.
You-
Tomorrow will be the last stream for a few weeks. The Pennzoil 400 to Las Vegas. I'm skiing on vacation for Phoenix weekend, and I'm actually going to be attending the Atlanta weekend. So, when I was supposed to be in a special Chase Elliott fan suite, and now he broke his goddamn leg, which sucks. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you so much for showing up today. Hit all the goals. See you guys tomorrow. This is BowserJrXD signing off. Have a good